What's up, everybody? Happy Friday night. We are like basically the earliest we've been in a while, right? It's only 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 7 o'clock here in the mountains, 6 o'clock over by that ocean where they eat dinner when it's time to go to bed. Good for them. Time zones. Time zones weird me out. I don't know why. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a great evening so far. Bill Kavanaugh was in the chat so early, 5:38 p.m. Dang, Bill, killing it. My mom's in chat. Rob D, Whiskey Dinks, Derek Wilkinson, Thomas Velashink. Never mind. Spent too much time on it already. Jeff Perkins, Hollywood Marine is here. Tommy V, Bob Glass. Stuart Butcher's in the house. What's going on, everybody? Average Drinkers here. Dara. Oh. Dara, hopefully you're staying, out of the snow. Heard that it's a blizzard out there. No snow here in the valley on the western slope. Just how I like it. No shovels, no boots. I wore a flip-flop with socks today. Flip-flops with socks. I felt good about it. Which is a weird thing to feel good about, but I did. Another thing to feel good about is I have a guest this evening who is one of my favorite people on the entire planet. And we're just going to bring him in so fast, so furious. Jarrod from Barrel King, live from Bourbon, Missouri. Jarrod.
The real Barrel King. How's it going?
The real Barrel King. Is there a fake Barrel King? Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought that was
one.
that.
There is one.
I thought you just took a pull out of that Click's vodka.
That's funny. That Click's vodka is good.
It's actually not bad. It's pretty good for vodka. It's water, though. The good stuff.
There's a few imitators out there. The barrel, there's a few imitators out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't. You have to send me them. I want to see them.
So look, I have one in mind. Is it okay if we say the first person to name the imitator gets a bottle of our tank right now?
The first person to name a bottle of the Barrel King imitator.
First person to name an imitator, a Barrel King imitator gets a free bottle of our tank right now.
Do you have them in mind already? You know what they are?
Yes.
All right.
He's one of my best friends.
Boom.
Oh, well, which one? Should we just get them? Probably should.
Huh?
We probably ought to we all know.
Then we have Dara says, me, Barrel Queen.
Oh, that's funny. Hey,
Bruzel. Good times. Yeah, Dan Shook is what we got.
Well, so maybe we'll send one out to the junkies, one out to that guy. So we'll do two.
Okay. Eric B.
It didn't take long.
No, Eric B is friggin' on top of it. Eric email Jarrod at barrelking.com, right?
Yep. And the other fella, both of them. Yeah, we'll do two.
That is Jacob Bauman with 2 N's.
Yeah.
Dan
That was
Shucky says.
funny for the night.
That was what?
Funny for the night. I don't know.
That was your funny?
Yeah, that's it.
You used it right out of the gate.
I did.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you said that they won a bottle of the tank. You sent that. You said I want to taste that. I haven't tasted it yet.
It's changed a little bit, but not much.
Since you overnighted it, it's changed?
Yeah, we've changed it every day. We've put between a half gallon and a gallon in it every day since I've sent it. Yeah, but it's not like a lot different,
Mm-hmm.
It's a little.
So is this the same tank that was housing Delta when I was there last month?
So it is, and I don't want to get caught up on the. So we actually use Delta as the base, and I don't want to get caught up in getting the composition wrong on it. But we took Delta, like about let's say 400 bottles of Delta that was left of it, and we used that as the base, and then basically built that up with really targeted full 11-year sibs and 17 or 18, I think 17-year, maybe 18-year light whiskey that you actually have a shit ton of on your desk.
The whole friggin'. So
So
there's light whiskey in the
there,
tank right
I
now.
almost didn't want to say there is, but you can kind of
Okay.
tell the proof is deceiving on it. And I think I probably should have told you it was in it. It'd been funner. But I just really
Well,
been itching to blend bourbon and light whiskey together to try to get some like really ultra old age like skills out of it.
so my initial thought when I smelled it, it definitely that it added a ton of sweetness, like, but in a very good way.
Yeah, it did. It almost turns it into like a it's like juicy or something.
It's
Like it.
it's very maraschino cherry juice. Like you, if you,
So
yeah,
now I'm trying to work out of that. So now I'm trying to kind of work out of that a little bit by adding we don't have much 7-year in this, but the 7-year will punch that out just a little bit and then kind of almost trick the palate really. And then using some small pieces of some other the old white whiskey to kind of bring some old cardery notes to it. And you're actually one of the bottles, one of the barrel that I've been using to do that you have with you, and you'll know it when you get to it. But
okay.
yeah.
Man, that is so. If you wouldn't, what I've noticed with blending light whiskey is a little bit of light whiskey goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
And I wouldn't have known that there was light whiskey on here. When you mentioned it, of course, it's sweeter, but
Yeah.
it's still very layered. It's a hard word to say.
Yep. Layered.
Oh, look who can say it the first try. This is. I like this.
It's
lot.
almost some of the gold members that have came by and was able to try it. They sit there and just try to figure out what the F is going on.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's different. And I didn't realize what it would happen. I was like, man, we have 11-year, a bunch of different types of 11-year bourbon, a couple. Then we have all that 8-year turkey. And I was like,
Yeah.
and then we have 17, 18-year light whiskey. I just thought like some of those light whiskey barrels are like I don't want to be wrong, like 1990 Four Roses, and like, not that matters, but
Oh, the barrels.
yeah, they're all different. We got a lot of times they're from Jack Daniels. No, we got everything. So we got from different lots. We bought from like 4 to 5 different lots. And,
Sure.
So that made sure we had a nice array of different stuff.
So it's interesting that over the past few months, went from blending just MGP, and now it's just you have so many different. I mean, I know that the light whiskey is also MGP, but the 36% mash bill stuff,
Yeah.
light whiskey, turkey,
Yeah.
southern, just the possibilities are kind of endless right now
They
as far as
are.
what can come out of.
We almost have to like dive deep at some point, because right now what we've been doing is kind of real high level conceptual stuff to try to kind of like catch up to what's happening, and it all happened so fast. And also we're kind of on top of each other right now. We don't have a whole lot of room, but Rachel's right over here. I keep looking because she wants to come on and talk to you here in a minute. But
I don't see her. Rachel, hi.
How's it
Hey.
going?
Good. Oh, your smile could brighten the day, or even an evening,
You're
which
so
is what it's doing right now.
You're
what
so sweet.
I didn't get. What's
Sorry,
mine
baby.
do? I'm an opener.
You have your qualities as well.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
So, well, kind of started to say, so we are going to actually expand. Have I told you that? I don't think I've told anybody this, because it's a bunch of things. A lot of things are changing. The industry's changing. And I always want us to make sure I stay in front of that. We definitely need more space. We've outgrown our space, so we're actually doubling our footprint. I don't think I've
Yeah,
told
next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be done. So we should, in January, be able to literally double our space, which will be
Heck yeah.
leave us a lot of like, instead of right now we're using the bar as an office, and that's like holy shit. And everything in the back of the barrel room are all just we're just stacked on top of each other. So it's weird. We have to like change the set nonstop.
Sure.
And I'm kind of ready to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how I got off on that. How did we get off on that? Oh, what we're trying to do. So right now we're just trying to like conceptually understand and have ideas before we do it, but we haven't been able to go in and taste every barrel.
Yeah.
So once we're able to make that move, I'm hoping to be nice. What we're talking about doing is, which I'm just gonna maybe shoot it out right now a little bit. Start at seniority wise, start contacting gold members and getting them in if we can, and maybe somehow figure out, even if it's like piggybacking on barrel picks or something, just figure out a vehicle that people that gold members can say, we shoot them a date 3 months out, 6 months out, and they can say, yes, we can do that. Because some folks can't just pop out, in 2, 3, 4 weeks across country. So we're going to try to do something like that. And I think the blending, all the different stuff is really come to fruition. Like tonight, what you're doing, we haven't done this yet with this. So thank you.
No. This is fun.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're contacting gold members to have them come visit the
Yeah. I'm afraid to get like super deep, but
don't.
No.
Just get comfortably deep.
Just a little bit. Yes. So what we'd like to do is turn it more experiential, maybe cut down a day or two of being open to the public, and turn and use the space, kind of gear the space towards a more of experience. So folks can come in, there's people that have been gold members for almost 3 years now, and they've never came and visited us because we don't offer that like as a in front of their face. And obviously, we have members in Hawaii and Alaska, so they need a lot of so yeah, I think that we've been here for almost 3 years now, and there's some gold members that we haven't met. So that's really what I want to start trying to knock out.
Can I pitch a terrible idea that you'll shoot down immediately, but I love?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say this before you even mentioned what you were going to say. When you mentioned expanding into the next the next room.
Yeah.
I was going to jokingly say, so you're gonna build me a 1-bedroom studio there for me just to come and just. But how about this?
Can I get one first? Or we can.
How about this? People can stay on site.
I mean, honestly,
I own the domain name burbin.com with 2 N's.
Do you?
I sure as freaking hell do. Bourbon.com. Oh, it's the best. Let's go ahead and shoot it. It was a terrible idea, but at the same time,
a great idea. So I don't think we're gonna be able to do it because of zoning, but there is a unit. So it's like, so the bike shop's gonna move to the very end, so that and so Stephen can have more like road frontage. He wants to be able to show folks what he's got going on. There's a major 4-way, not really. Where I-44 overpass, you've seen it, meets through 66. It's major for us. Where that 4-way is.
your microphone went out.
Oh.
Wait, no, it's back.
Okay. You can tell me when that happens. If it gets bad, I'll go out and move that Starlink thing.
Oh, because you just started, like you were talking, and I could still see you talking, but then there was no sound. Then I said your microphone went out, and then you went, "Aw," clear as day. It's almost like you were talking, and then you were just messing with me. That's what it seemed like.
Hey, my mic game's on, man. Come on, my mic game's on. Look at this thing. I just seen what Dave Shook bought, and I bought the same thing.
Oh, you bought the Shook? You bought the Shook microphone?
I think I did.
You gotta play with it a lot, then. Like the whole time.
I think he does this, doesn't he? How you doing, dude?
No. You're almost there. You're almost there. Oh boy. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, no, you're good now. I just say so. Whatever you just said before, you didn't hear it.
So I think what I was saying is Steven's gonna move towards the end. His bike shop is beautiful. It's like bright, it's clean. Like we can do a lot of stuff there. I'd like to bond that and turn that into a bottling facility, and then leave all the barrels in front of the windows where we do most of the work. But and then there is a suite next to him, just a little smaller. And I did bring it up to Rachel, like how cool would it be if we could like build this into like where people stay, you know? And we talked about like, well, I'd like to. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't think it is going to happen. She's going to murder me for saying it, but and maybe whenever, you know, things smooth out a little bit in the industry or maybe it's the economy overall, whatever. But I'd love to have like a gold member Airbnb. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
That'd be amazing. Oh, and just so everybody knows, just because Jarrod said the word economy doesn't give anybody the opening to talk about the election or politics or any of that shit. If you do, you're on timeout. So we're not talking about any of that. But you can use words without, you know.
No, I just, you know, when things smooth out or we can see where the industry, I don't know, we're just going, I don't know. I don't want to go buy a house. I don't want to go like buy a apartment or, you know what I mean? Right now.
Yeah.
It feels weird. Or I don't know how we'd even do that. We'd have to rent one from a renter.
So anyway. in Midland, Michigan, home of the Bourbon Junkies, there was somebody living behind a grocery store sign, and you have a grocery store right next door.
Oh.
She got found out and she eventually got kicked out. But she's using their Wi-Fi and like had a little desk and a bed in there and stuff. It was like built into the grocery store sign. It's pretty unique.
Pretty industrious, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine myself doing that. You've seen my setup here in the garage.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I could build myself out in a grocery store sign, find myself a spot to shoot, spot to live.
I was like, I wanted to work with you so fucking bad when I seen your garage. I was like, oh my God.
Actually, the conversation we had was, I said, I need to show you something because if you really want to work with me, you need to see this first.
And I think I said something like, I've never wanted to work with you so bad or something, right? Like it was, it was like, oh yeah, we're good.
You know, I'm like, I think I said, you see what's happening here? That's what's happening inside my head also, and in every other aspect of my life, and I need you to know that. And you're like, all right. So that was just a fact. Griff sent in a $10 super chat. Didn't even say anything. Just thanks, Griff. Oh man. So I just poured King Me 1 and King Me 2.
Okay.
Which were from November releases.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we don't have any votes in yet, right?
I don't know. I haven't asked. Nope, not yet. I think some folks are just now getting. Not yet. No, they haven't showed up yet. No.
Right. So
who knows? That was this month. Are you crazy? Don't. You're gonna. It's not even done yet. We'll probably ship those out around the 15th. It's just taking.
Oh yeah, it's only the 8th. It's only the 8th. What am I doing?
It'll get me in trouble.
Hey, I can't help it. Okay, kids are like talking Christmas. People are like blowing snow.
1,000 people are going to email Rachel right now.
Oh,
I haven't got it yet.
Forward them to me, and they'll get added to my like 100 and some thousand emails.
Okay.
Google's like, you are not allowed to ever open another account.
That's funny.
Pretty much.
They want your data, man. I guarantee it, especially yours.
So what does that even mean?
I mean, you got a lot of data.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Hey, look. Can I you want to come up and talk?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start it. Is that fine? So Rachel and I, can Rachel tell a story?
Rachel can tell. I mean, I would love that to keep my answer short. Yes.
She signs all of our checks. She can do what she wants.
She can. Yeah. I mean, the floor is yours.
So we come up with an idea, and I'll let her explain the idea. But I guess I just want to say, when we came up with the idea, I had to call the Dream Maker, Dan Shook. And I just want to say that every time we come up with something cool or edgy or not sure how it's going to be received, Dan is fucking first to jump in front of that. You know, he's like, and it means a lot because I don't know, man. You'll find out here in a minute. But he was just like, "Fuck yeah, let's fucking go. How can I help?" He's in, you know. So, thank you, Bourbon Junkies, so much for making this possible for us. So, and I think that that's it. You want to take it from here? Yeah. I'm gonna get up. You can have Rachel.
I get the hot seat.
Yeah.
I'm pumped to hear this. Hi, Rachel, co-founder and owner of Barrel King, the main boss. She's like Bowser, but not Bowser because Bowser would never mind.
Well, so Jarrod kind of introed it with, we had this great idea, and if you're not new to our story, you already know that we lost a daughter to pediatric cancer, and that mission and charity work is very near and dear to our heart, and whatever we can do to help families who are going through some type of struggling situation, that's who we are at the core. And we thought maybe we could get a couple other distilleries to collab with us and maybe take a barrel on a road trip. Can I say road trip?
Yeah, you can say anything you want. Honestly, because you can't put a tracker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They can't put a tracker on our car. You know what I'm saying? They got the catches.
So we've set up, we've been able to partner with some really amazing people. We're not going to disclose those people just yet. And the whole idea is we take a barrel from our barrel room and we drop it off at a few different distilleries, give them 24 hours to blend in that barrel with their stuff and see what can they do with it, get it to where it's really what they think that is the best. And then we load it back up and then we go to the next place. And that's so amazing. It's going to be really fun. I know I'm very excited. And then of course the end is to bring it back to our place, put it in the tank, bottle it. And like we've done with our past two fundraiser donation, charity gifts, is that, yes, your beautiful teeth, is that 100% of the bottle sale will go to the charity. And we're working through what that looks like. If I get my say, half will go to DIPG, which is the cancer that Claire had, research funding. And then the other half will go to a family who has a child who's currently battling DIPG. So 100% of bottle sales, these distilleries that we're collabing with, they are getting very passionate about the project as well, donating their time and whatever, juice they're going to be contributing to it. So it's fun. I can't wait.
You guys never cease to amaze. That's for sure. That's so, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We truly, and mean this so heartfelt, could not do it without all the people who are buying the bottles at the end of the day, because they're really the ones that are allowing us to write those huge checks, to really make a difference in some families' lives. So we're really honored to be just a part of it.
That's incredible. But I mean, it's, people can't buy the bottles if there's nothing for you to come up with you guys come up with the idea, put it together, and then like basically spearhead such a cool thing. That's spectacular. And I don't know, I am so thankful and grateful that I work with such cool and giving people. You guys are the best.
We love you, Matt.
I love you guys too. That is, can the barrel go fit in the Tesla?
No, I have rented a vehicle.
Man, that would have been so cool.
It'll fit in the Tesla. So she made me do something different.
So, listen, we're bringing Rhea with us, who does all of our video, camera work. And she's going to be documenting the entire process. So that
Okay.
even adds, I think, another level of fun that we'll be dropping lives and
Oh, awesome.
clips along the journey. And
Oh, good,
it's
good.
actually because this is how we operate. We get an idea and we just implement it immediately. It'll be the week before Christmas. We will be on the road. So here in
Really?
just about 5 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I, so, geez, Louise, that's going to be an interesting road trip, I'm sure.
It is
But
really very interesting.
you you have to keep us up. Did you? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question that I know that you probably are going to tell me you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But on social media, like maybe last year, there were, I just happened to scroll to something, and it was two ladies who were trying to break the world record for traveling the distance inside of like an electric powered small car, like a Hot Wheel, like a Power Wheels. But like it was like they updated every day of like about their journey.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's what that'd be the best if people could just really follow along with exactly what you guys are doing,
Yes.
and that project, and then with that at the very end, it just tied all together, and that's awesome.
Yeah. We've been sitting on this for only about a week and a half, I guess. We talked to our team about it last week, and of course, they're just as excited as we are. Very jealous that they don't get to go on the road trip with us, which just shows what great people we have on our team. But yeah, we will definitely be documenting as we go.
Heck
They
yeah.
threw out some great ideas. I thought maybe like an Apple AirTag, you could track where we're going, and then I thought that might not be a good idea since we have a girl in the back of our vehicle. So, and we won't be disclosing the distilleries we're going to partner with until the end.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome. Okay,
when we pop up, maybe we'll share the general vicinity location and people can kind of guess where we are. So,
that's super cool.
yeah.
I love the idea,
Thank you.
and for the like, and the cause is spectacular. Thank you for doing everything that you guys do. That's so awesome. I don't even know. I'm terrible. I wish Dan Shook were actually here because he usually he puts together a really well worded
He's
what I
good at
want to
wording.
say. He's
He
good
is
with
good
putting
at
it together, and I always just say whatever Shook said, but with a little more heartfelt meaning and a bit of more pizzazz.
There you go. You do
Yeah,
have the pizzazz, Matt. I love the pizzazz. Yes.
but that is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll keep you posted. We'll let
Yes.
everybody know with the holidays, and we do shut down. We give our team the time off between Christmas and New Year's, so there won't be any bottling or anything going on then. So we'll know release dates and specific families that that the specific family that the donation will be going to. And again, if you've been around us very long, we're fully transparent with the funds and where they go and how it's being used. So
So where can people follow Barrel King just so it's out there? Where's the best place to go to follow with this adventure?
that's a great question. So I would say any of our social media, so Facebook or YouTube, the Barrel King sites, and then I will be sure to share. We should have an actual dedicated page on our website
Okay.
once the time gets a little closer, and I can get it together with our designer to get it set up. So
Awesome.
yeah, but it'll be all shared through social media as well.
And then I'll share as you give out information. I'll share that on the channel as well, where everyone can follow that because the more eyes that are on that, the better. That's super awesome.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yep, we
Well,
love you. I'll
we
give
all collectively as a community appreciate you guys for everything you do. By the way, quick update. Let's see. We're gonna just make this about me right now,
Let's do it. I love
but
it.
also about you because Monday, this coming Monday, this is funny. Monday is the 11th, right? It's my birthday. So on my birthday,
Oh my gosh.
I call, or I get to call the dental implant place and place my order for my final teeth. So these are the last set of like the try-ons they call them. So,
awesome.
heck yeah, they're
Cheers
gonna
to that, Matt. That
place
is
those,
awesome.
and I will be ever grateful for Barrel King and everyone who bought those bottles. 77. Thank you so much.
Amazing. We're so
Now
grateful.
I can smile with all of them
Yes.
and be
yes.
happy about it. Yeah. So thank you.
I love it.
That's wrapping up.
That's
I love
awesome.
you guys. Thanks.
Glad to hear that. Yes, love you. I will give Jarrod the hot seat back. We can talk more things. Whiskey. Thanks for giving me some time.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Oh,
All right, Jarrod, follow that.
can't. I think we're done.
No.
Are we
Yeah,
just
that
done?
was we hit the pinnacle a bit early in the stream.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Everyone's saying how good of an idea that is, and Adam Actor says a 100 out of 10 idea.
Oh hell.
No wonder BJ's said F yes. Let's
That's
go.
it.
So good. That is. I was hoping it was going to be in the Tesla, even with
I did too.
someone with a camera.
She's
She's in the back, like fighting with the barrel. Like, it's my side.
Honestly, that'd been fun too. Like just have like our bags and barrel and Rhea.
Get your bunghole away from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stole that joke from Smoke Wagon from Aaron.
That's funny, Aaron.
What a guy, huh?
He's pretty fucking cool. He just grinding, man.
He just looks cool.
He kind of does. Like, I don't know if anybody else can pull that shit off, man. He's just, I like him quite a bit.
Yeah, we ran over there and we're like,
You're like, you want a picture? Nah.
I gotta teach you how to take pictures, though, people.
Yeah, I just didn't want to bother him. He's busy, and he had his sunglasses on, and it was like fucking 8 o'clock at night. I just didn't think he wanted to be touched, but he did. He was cool.
He was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The picture you took of us was from underneath my man tits, though, so wasn't the greatest photo. I couldn't even edit it to make it look acceptable. You son of a bitch.
What the hell?
I was really looking forward to that picture.
I think Aaron ought to have a say so in that. He might have liked it.
No, he looked good in it. It's just me. Jarrod isn't a quitter. I know better. So I'm happy that Shook decided to join a stream of mine. It's been years. But
Yeah.
he comes on when it counts.
What am I not? What
Appreciate it.
am I not quitting, Dan?
I don't know, but he just says that you're not a quitter. So
I'm not a quitter.
whatever you were thinking about quitting, don't do it.
I don't know.
So I have to say, but before we even start tasting some of these American whiskey or light whiskey barrels,
No.
my Delta is like I can't stop with
So-
the Delta because it's changing and
Yep.
it's just so one hell of a blend.
That's interesting. I agree, and like so that's what I know. Like, but maybe how I know when I'm really excited about something is I just want to keep drinking it and trying to figure it out. But then like these bottles change, man, so
Yeah.
much. It's hard to really understand it, and I kind of like that, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. People say that whiskey doesn't change in a bottle, and those people are named Chris Hart,
Yeah.
and they're wrong.
Shook. Who's Chris Hart? Don't make fun of me. Who's Chris
I'm
Hart?
just joking. He's we just mess with him because he's
Oh, is
he
he? Oh,
takes-
like
he has a radio show on ESPN, and he was the co-owner of Prideful Goat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from the Houston area, I believe.
Huh.
But he's a great guy.
Okay.
He's on a lot of the Junkies' first podcasts that they did. But he's always been a really you can't sway his opinion on the neck pour. So like what he'll do is
So
set up an
different.
experiment that proves him wrong, but say that he's right. It's the whole thing.
Dude, it definitely changes. But it might be because we are so fast. Dan Shook brought up something that maybe because go so fast, the whiskey didn't sit in the bottle long enough or something. Like sometimes we bottle something on the 15th,
Yeah.
20th,
Well,
20th, and people are drinking them on the 15th the next month.
This was bottled very soon after it was blended.
It was.
Because when I got back from Missouri, it was just a few days.
Yeah. It's fresh. That's for damn sure. So I don't know, but the more we grow and the more barrels that we get, then I can start to, and Rachel told me I could buy one more tank. I'm going to buy 2 more tanks and I'm just going to do it. I think, I got the one. I didn't think she's going to give me the one, but now we're going to have two more tanks here shortly. So we get that more space, and probably even add 2 more to that. And we can start just blending things like 3 months, 4 months away. That's
super cool.
That
way you're not just going crazy, like setting deadlines. You still will. I think.
No, we're always gonna be good. We can make it. I mean, honestly, I feel like we're pretty quick at blending and stuff. But boy, January, I just think it's gonna be more like maybe it depends on how our November, December looks. Maybe I can get 4 tanks, and the more tanks we have, it's just, I love making these half-gallon additions to like a 200-gallon blend. It's that to me is just, love it.
That's what happened with Delta. So when I got there, we tasted Delta, and it's kind of a funny way that went. It was chilly in the barrel house. We ended up warming it and tasting it, and we're like, probably not where we wanted it to be. Like the final.
Yep.
But it didn't take much.
Nope.
You
like 2 gallons.
Literally ran around like David Copperfield and waved, like, I don't know. It was the shit you do on the fly. There needs to be a slow-mo camera on you at all times. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Because the way that changed with only a few gallons, some of this, some of that, was incredible.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, and I like that. And I think that the more tanks we get, I think we'll start to see a more refined, like when you drink that Delta, it'll smash most things in side-by-sides, I believe. It's a lot of different brands or whatever. And I think that I think it's just fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for what it is. But I would like for, I don't know, I say that, but maybe we let it sit in the damn tank for a month and it's not as good, or I don't know. Like sometimes you think you're fixing something, but you shouldn't fix it, right? We don't know.
Well, how do you? So, I had a blend put together this summer, pretty much, that was sitting in a tank until recently. Do you think that developed slowly in the tank, like just came together well, or did it?
So yours? You talking about that one?
Yeah, the one that.
So look, that's fucking good, isn't it? Did you just have that recently?
I just poured the. Dude, I mean, yeah.
Your fucking blend right now is. I'm gonna say your blend right now is. I don't know how we could have got much better, but it did. It is, to me, it's liquid candy. I can't believe how good it is.
Yeah, I like the way it turned out, for sure.
Yeah, you think?
But do you think that? Do you think that it, once you first put it in the tank, that was probably one of the longer ones that sat in a tank without being changed. Without being changed, right?
Yep. And I think I have a half barrel of it right now, maybe in a tank as well. Like I think I kept around 25 gallons of that.
No kidding.
For future, yeah.
That's awesome.
Don't you blown away by your own shit now? Like, aren't you blown away by it? Isn't it way better than when you drink it at our shop?
When I opened the bottle you sent me, and I poured it, and it was one of those where my nose wasn't by the glass yet, and I just smelled pouring it, and I was like, oh shit, like this is gonna be good, and
it's really good.
But anything that I do is always like, I can't really put too much thought into it,
but
because
it's good. I honestly
I think
thought that I was going to beat you. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm like, I would pick yours now. This is where we're at. So,
Hey, we're not to be the judge of that. That's why we did the competition thing.
and what's cool about it is that you are there with samples I send you, and I'm here with all of the toys. Honestly.
Well, all the samples that went into that blend, I left with when I left Missouri, when I drove up to Michigan, because Matt Bunch bottled. I said just grab a variety of these because I kind of put them in separate categories. It's like they're either going to fall into like one of these three categories. Just throw some random stuff in there, and then I think I left with a dozen samples, and then 6 or 7 barrels went into that, I think.
Remember that far away.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the way it turned out. 1WD, love you guys. Right back at you. And 1W.
Not Chris.
Did you say not Chris?
Yeah, I've doxed him twice now on your show.
That's all right. I think that he doesn't exactly make himself invisible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he didn't want to be doxed, he does the worst job. Adam McIntyre setting up a 6-bottle flight of 36 rye for tonight. Just my first BK bottle today, which is a Sib Plus. Heck yeah, that's awesome. I have heard nothing but great things about the Sib Pluses. And Shook sent me a picture last week of him holding that Candyland pick I did, like for the Patreon. But he did, and all it said was "holy shit," and I'm like, that means something to me when like somebody takes the time to take a picture and then send it. It takes 10 seconds for them to do it, but that means something. It's like, that I appreciate his palate and the fact that he just did that. It was the cherry quicksand, which one it was. Look at that. I'm 3 minutes late to him telling the same story. But yeah, those Sib Pluses are fantastic.
They're delicious. But they're like like blended.
Which did you how is there a way for you to like make that a Barrel King term? The
Sib Plus?
Yeah.
I think it is. Ryan Alves I actually use his Ryan Alves did his he's like, what's a Sib Plus? This is what it is. And he sent it out to all the Urban Outfitter folk, and I had to kind of come up with my own explanation of what Sib Plus is, and I just stole like half of his shit, and he did it really well. Right.
It was half Alves, half Chat GPT.
Actually, I haven't ran it through GPT yet. I probably will to see if there's any ideas or something. But I don't speak good English, man.
Me either. People know if I were to say something out loud that AI wrote, it'd be pretty obvious.
Alves talks good English. That shit is solid. He did really good. And
he does talk good English.
Like, Chat GPT, tell me what Sib Plus. It'll be like, what the fuck? It'll actually just tell you what it'll pretend it knows. You know what I'm saying? He had to actually come up with that shit.
If I had to ask AI to write something for me to say, I'd be like, write something extremely smart and quirky and somewhat funny that gets a point across, would make people giggle, but sounds like it's coming out of Windows 95. Like something that was just choppy and not quite put together right.
If you tell Chat GPT that if you say, please do a good job, if I get this wrong, my boss will fire me. It works harder.
It works harder?
It does.
What if it's having a bad day and it's very cynical?
I don't think they can. Not yet.
I think
they have a bad day yet.
Well, maybe not yet, but I imagine in the future it could happen.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
It's like, oh, hey, asshole. You last time I told you to say something, you didn't give me any credit at all. So this time,
don't do it. They'll remember that shit. 10 years from now, I'll be like,
yeah.
Remember that one time you called me an asshole?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this moment for 10 years.
Right.
It's gonna fucking
If anything, if there's two things that we'll never forget, probably artificial intelligence and your wife. or my wife. You know, they just never forget. You're supposed to laugh at that.
I'm trying to understand what you just said. Who's not going to forget?
If there are two things in the world that won't forget.
Oh, you're fucking funny, dude.
Oh, thanks.
No, it is funny.
Thanks, Jarrod. Really pumped me up with. Jeez, God damn it. Tom Lonzo just cracked cherry quicks on myself. Looking forward to getting the Junkies picks to set up a nice little blind. Heck yeah. Thanks, Tom, for the supporting Barrel King and the channel. Appreciate the heck out of you. Can we get into some of these American
We'll do it.
light whiskeys?
I'm excited about it.
Which do you have did you have any order? Because there are Who the hell are these? Are these labeled by bunch?
Yeah, totally.
You need to get him to write things in a notebook.
Yeah.
Because
Did it leak again?
no, not at all. It's just like bottle number ALW11, batch number 10, and then some. And then some of them say like.
I don't understand.
And this is not me complaining. It's me actually just
Look. So
enjoying
ALW,
the way he does things.
ALW is gonna be your number.
American light whiskey.
Oh, what the fuck does like 9.5 mean and 14?
Right, that was my next point. Is 9 point. Okay, so my point. What I was thinking was, ALW11 would be like maybe the 11th sample you sent me, or, and then batch number would be like maybe the barrel code. But some of them have 0.5.
That bunch are you watching? Can you tell us?
I love it. I mean, I think it's like it's secret code.
It changes all the time.
But like when I'm in the barrel house and you're like, the ones with stickers are the good ones. I'm like, the gold stickers or like the red stickers.
Maybe it's batch. Why would I have a point next to it? Is that? Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's the proof. No, he would put that in the proof. Never mind. I don't know. He has a reason.
I love it.
I'm gonna text him and say, hey.
It's not the age because these are all 17, 18-year light whiskeys. Yeah. Is my other light on? Yeah. The color on these things. This is, come on. Why don't I ever have the focusing abilities that I want? You know, full screen it.
What are you looking at?
Just like the color on these. And also, I'm enjoying the particulates. Look at the barrel floaties in that. The barrel floaties make me so happy when I get the barrel floaties.
I love that shit.
Look at those things.
Every once in a while, we'll get somebody be like, I poured this and there's particulates and is this safe? I'm like, don't ask me if it's safe. I drink that shit all the time.
Yeah.
You
know? It looks like a fish tank of barrel char. You know? Yeah. It's like when you drop the fish food in, but it's not fish food. It's porter food.
There you go.
Yeah.
What does the batch number mean? Bunch, if you're on here, answer it. I don't know, you probably not. What's up, Jason?
Cherry Quicksand last week for birthday stream. It's fantastic sipping on Sid's Little Black Book tonight. Thank you, BK. Her Little Black Book blend is stupid. Stupid.
Do you love it?
I told you when you were recording me without my consent that I loved it.
No. You were just kept on like, that's right, that's funny.
I was just shaking my head like, because the way that it just transitions into that blend is ridiculous.
Like I haven't gave her a whole lot of love on it because she's so mean to me at work. She abuses me on a daily basis.
Well, it's because you don't braid her hair on very often.
That's funny. Were you there for that?
I was there when she told the story, yeah.
That's so funny. Holy shit.
It's just a little, come on. Let me put you up in a nice little pony instead. Frank Casano, happy birthday, Matt. Mine is today and toasting us with the P15 my wife got me for my birthday. Well, some Candyland next now. What you meant? Awesome. That's, the Candyland is, I think, my favorite of the two. But, can you read when you read this in your head, can you hear Shook saying it? Because I can.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's right. That's fucking incredible.
It's incredible.
Oh, Dan.
I'm the greatest whiskey taster you've ever met, literally.
You guys are gonna create a monster. She's gonna treat me worse. She's gonna replace you and me, Porter. I think
Shit.
Dan's behind it.
That's fine. Just, I'll just do what she does, and probably way worse. So, I don't know. Which one should we pour here first?
Dan? You're just giving up. So what are we gonna open first? Let's go by.
I don't know. You're the one that's in charge.
So look, I haven't tasted through these. I've tasted probably 10 of them. I think we have like 40 or something.
You have 40 of those barrels?
Yeah, probably more than 40. I'm gonna say, I think we have 45 or 50. But I know we have.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
We bought them all. Everything they had.
I'll just take it.
Yeah,
It does taste like an Uncrustable, but the purple Uncrustable for sure. Totally agree.
dude, he had raspberry Uncrustables on his fucking on his State of the Junkies. Have you ever seen raspberry Uncrustables?
No, I've seen grape, I've seen strawberry, and
Like a
the
chocolate.
hazelnut ones.
Yeah. He has raspberry.
When I want my second grader to have a fantastic day at school, slip her in a little hazelnut Uncrustable.
Really? Are they good? This seems like too much butter.
No, she just loves Nutella. So.
Oh, is it just Nutella? There's no peanut butter?
Oh no, it's Nutella and soft bread.
I definitely wouldn't like that. It's so like plasticky.
We killed a whole box that day.
Did you?
Man.
Oh, he did. Dude, I bet it's so good. I don't know.
I'm guessing that Dara is drinking the juicy fruit. That rye is so damn good. That's a damn good rye.
Dude, her rye is the best fucking rye I've had all year.
Well, you poured it for me, and I was like, what on earth is this? I didn't even know it was a Barrel King product. I was like, good grief.
Yeah, that's stupid. We're going to release that to the gold members in December, I think. So.
I've got one in my hand since you're good being indecisive.
What is it?
I'm going to go out on Why is this on there so good? Ugh. This one's 10, batch 10. ALW 11.
Bottle ALW 10.
Which one do you have in your hand? I'll just grab which one you have.
No, I'm going to find 11, bud.
That's my lucky number.
Is it?
I was born on 11/11. It's not really a lucky number. It's just a number.
So I wouldn't didn't see it. Let me try again.
When people say they have a lucky number, is it actually lucky or is it just they just call it that?
Did you say luck? No, I think they get a lucky number when they're like a kid. Like they were sitting in class one day and their teacher's like, "Hey, I'm in the Army Reserves and I got to bring this cardboard cutout of a tank home. So I brought it here to give it to you second graders, but I need you all to pick a number. And then you like pick your number 11 and you win that. And you remember that your entire life. And then you might go a little bit further and be like, you win something like on number 3. And you're like, shit, man, I like 3 and 11. And then you might pick up like another one. But I think that's how we, lucky numbers are like, it starts when you're like 20 or less, probably.
And then it just doesn't continue to be lucky. It just was lucky once or twice.
Oh no, it's always lucky. I think it is.
Oh.
Mine is 8, and then it ended up being 3. That story about the tank is true. That was me. In second grade.
I was wondering how you got there with the cutout tank.
I said 8, and I won the tank card thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wish I would remember the numbers that I won guessing stuff. You know what I'm surprisingly good at? Is the jars that say guess how many are in this jar.
It's funny.
I don't know how I'm good at it, but I'm just good at it. Because like in my head I do like...
Because you have an abstract mind, dude.
I think I might not be it might be a different A word, but never mind. But like I see like in my head, I'm like doing all these math things,
Maybe.
and I'm like, I think that maybe I'm counting them, then I'm like seeing it three dimensionally, and I'm like, there's that many there, then here, and I usually win those things, or by usually I mean I've won a couple.
So you think you might be on the spectrum? Is that what you're saying? No. Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pour.
I am on the spectrum. 100%.
I really can't self-diagnose myself.
Yeah, I just did myself.
But
And
there have been a surprising number of comments left on my videos diagnosing me.
that's yeah. Seems to be a gift for a lot of people. You know, I can go either way. So. Some people, I say I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's
whatever the hell's going on with me, it is definitely gutters and strikes, you know?
You're funny.
Not exactly perfect, but I don't know. It is what it is. So this is 136.7 proof. Oh, Jarrod, I got a line on a bunch of barrels, and they told me that they haven't told anybody else about them yet, but if we want them, it is some weeded Heaven Hill distillate.
You know the age.
Age statements don't matter. Boom, busted. Son of a bitch, I got you. That's what. Hell yeah. I was lying.
You're buying barrels for you and not ask the age.
What's that?
That doesn't even. You didn't. That was like that was low blow.
No, it wasn't a low blow. It was a solid point. I thought of that point in the shower the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so gonna get Jarrod on that."
You fucker. So
Boom, got you.
fuck, man.
Oh,
I can't find AW11. I think I've got a couple doubles.
I love it. I love in the back of my head. I was like, "He's not gonna ask me the age." But in the front of my mind, I'm like, "That's the first thing he's gonna ask."
Right? We did get offered some Heaven Hill here recently. Like, and I don't like the ages on them. I just don't. A lot of them are totes, and they're trying to sell them like 5-6 year Heaven Hill, 7-year totes or whatever. That tells me there's probably a problem when you start toting fucking 6-7 year whiskey. There's something wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just dumping them in totes,
Yeah, why
you're
would you?
either running out of room or
Yeah, or maybe they
something.
like a profile they needed and they wanted to hold on to it and then they didn't use it. That's possible, but I don't know.
So
Love tote whiskey.
what I would love to do, and this is just the way my brain works. So we just poured ALW11. I want to pour a different barrel next to it
Yeah,
because a lot of the things that I get on light whiskeys are very similar. But it'd be nice to see a side-by-side difference between
dude,
one barrel and a different barrel.
that's the barrel. That's the barrel depth. That's the inches.
Oh,
And yeah,
that makes
side by sides.
so much sense now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look
So-
at that. Bunch is always fucking got to figure.
I mean, not only does it make sense, but he did extra work.
He fucking killed it.
Way to go, Bunch. Love it.
Yeah.
I thought you were just messing with us. 9.5. Like,
I thought he went off on a tangent and did something. I was just like, what do you do? But he has it figured out. Dude, those aren't very tall. Those are short barrels, dude.
that's a side bung, I'm guessing.
Both. Oh. You know what? They're top.
No.
Top. Yep, these are short barrels. We bought a fuck ton of short barrels. Yeah.
Those can't be top bung at 9 inches,
They are, I think.
10 inches, 11 inches.
Flip them over.
Because they're 36 inches roughly tall from their side, right?
Yeah. 36 tall like that. 17 would be 24 would be the side, I think, something like that. And there's no way we have one that's 17 inches out of 24.
Oh man. Well,
17 would be a little half.
if they're from different lots, maybe they're different. Huh. Because 9 from a top bung is nothing,
They're all
right?
top and side. But we have them set up on the top. So we're pulling them from the top. They're all top and side. So these all got drilled twice. They were originally slated to go to Diageo, and we ended up with them somehow.
Yeah, take that, Diageo. So let's grab another one. Tell me which other one we should pour next to it.
Let's pour 5. You see the first
Batch 5, you're saying?
Yeah, ALW 5.
All right. Oop. So these are roughly 17 plus year.
I think they're 17 year. I know I should know that. I'm sorry. 17 or 18.
All right. What the hell does this mean then? I have a batch number 15.5.
So 15.5 is 15.5 inches from the top bung.
Oh, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong number. I'm glad I actually mentioned that because I would never would have found 5.
Yeah, Matt Bunch, can you quit doing things perfect, please?
Yeah. Hey, knock it off.
Knock it off, buddy.
Oh, there we go. All right. So we have. This one's a little lower proof, not much. These are all 130 proof plus. Woo!
There's some in here that is like right at 140. I don't know if we sent you one, but they're close.
The highest I have is like a 138 something.
Yeah, we have some that are 140.
Has Matt tried those? Get it? Has Matt?
No, we haven't. Like, it's good that we're doing this because I'm slacking in this department. Like going in and just drinking, 100 different things, literally 100 different barrels, or even going in and hitting 20 barrels in a day. It's just, and I can't do that every day. We've been getting new barrel shipments in nonstop. It feels like, and honestly, these barrels turn on at different points in time. If you find a barrel that's amazing, it blows your mind, and you wait like a month or 2 or 3, you're going to lose whatever that is, very possibly, and it goes the other way. Some of the shittiest barrels, you're like, put this in the back, and you come back 6 months later, and them fuckers are hitting like really good. So, I don't know I don't feel like I have to go through and taste 300 barrels right now, but if we could start knocking things out like this, that'd be great. I'd love to know. What I do now, if I have to do a blend, I just go in and start tasting and tasting and tasting. I can drill now. I drill it. I learned how to do that at Evernorth. And I'm drilling my barrels and
Sticking a plug in.
Yeah, that's what we do now. It's interesting. And if we want to get deeper with something, we bring it down and stir it, whatnot. So that second one's quite a bit better than the first one, I think.
I can't help but just wonder.
Yeah, what is that? Is that a Old Carter? What is that?
No, this is a Penelope 15-year American whiskey.
No shit. That's fun.
Yeah. They're Founders Reserve. So what I like to do is just basically see what we're working with, because you're going to pick up a lot of the same notes on these light whiskeys, but some of they're not all created equally.
No. You gonna do a third, or are you just gonna hang with 2?
So let's start with the 2, and then we'll go from there.
Because look, can we talk about what the fuck we're gonna do with these?
Because you haven't told me.
Why?
I mean, I told you what I wanted you to do with some of them.
That's what I want to do. I'd like for you to make a mother blend for me, and then I'd like to do is, Kelvin seems to be hot. Everybody likes the Kelvin barrels and whatnot, and I'm open to doing that, but I would really like to go down to what is it called? Gosh, McGinnis, and get with Ben McGinnis, and just be like, hey man, I'd like to try. Do you know? So can I say what you told me you wanted to do with them? I guess I can. So you want to do like Old Carter American whiskey? Is that what you said? You want to like toast or double barrel them?
I want to put them in a new charred barrel just to see what. I mean, I don't know, and I'm sure that some people would know more about this than me. I'm not sure what type of barrels they use, but I don't think that's necessarily. I don't know if they use Kelvin or not, but
Yeah.
When you double barrel these things, they just get ridiculous. But
So
these have a ton of flavor already. I think that a lot of the old Carter American whiskeys were not this old to begin with, before they went into those secondary barrels. This is more like getting closer to the very old Carter stuff. I believe. I could be wrong.
well, I think it
But-
is. It can't get much older. I mean, there's some 20-year-old out there, but I don't really want to fuck
Right.
with it. You know, getting in 12, like we got in some barrels that had nothing. So
They're empty?
empty, bone dry.
That's not cool. That's the worst.
They bone dry. They weren't bone dry. They were still sealed, but there was nothing in them.
You, s-
Yeah,
you still have to pay for them, huh?
yeah, we had to pay for it. I'm afraid to go much further past that. And you see like a lot of people coming out with like 30-year-old, like we got 40-year-old offered to us, you know, and I don't know. I'm fine with using that stuff for blending. I just don't. I said 40-year-old. Maybe it wasn't 40-year-old. No, it was Canadian. I take that back. But still, like, I don't know. Super old whiskey is fun and stuff, but I don't just want to like be a bottler where I just take things from a barrel and put it into a bottle and sell it. You know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it takes away the magic. I mean, yeah, if you don't have the ability to put something together that tastes better than like the individual parts,
Yes.
then sure. But that's not the case. You have a special talent, and I'm learning.
Whatever.
We can turn, bits and pieces of things into something really, really damn good.
This blending thing, and it's just you learn forever. It's just I don't think there's ever going to be where you're like, oh, there's always different distillate. There's always different treatments. You know, toast, double barrel, blend, whatever. There's just we're gonna be learning forever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like you take me out of my. I'm just really good at my place. If you take me out of there, it's not as good, you know. 'Cause I don't know everything in there usually, whatever. But
I mean, that's the way it is with everyone. It takes, like when I come to Barrel King, I'm out of my element completely.
yeah,
I'm not even used to standing up and tasting.
I do get it. I know.
I'm never drinking.
Like,
I'm never tasting something standing up unless I'm doing a barrel pick somewhere or like blending. I'm always sitting. I'm always in like a room, So that takes me a little bit. But the two that we just poured are much more full bodied than that 15-year from Penelope. Their bottle has a ton of great flavor, but it's not as full bodied. It's not as actually it's not as oaky, which is probably seems like it should be obvious, but
dude, that second one, come on, that's crazy.
they're yeah. There's a joke about Sex in the Woods intense or something. I tried to think of it quickly, but I couldn't. But yeah, it's a very intense. Man, there's so much. So vanilla is a very heavy note that we get on
Yeah,
these light whiskeys, but my mind always goes to when you were a kid. Did you ever have rock candy on a stick?
all the
It was
time.
it's like a grape rock candy. I get on a ton of these, like a purple rock candy.
Definitely grape in there. So I used to. My grandpa was my mom's dad was a pharmacist, and he owned 50 years ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't born then, but 40 years ago I would have been like 4, maybe 35 years ago I'd been 9. But he had in a little town, a little pharmacy, and he used to go in there all the time, and he'd be in the dark smoking a cigarette in his pharmacy, whatever. And he liked to drink. Probably where I got my whiskey stuff from, but
Sure.
he'd always give me, that's all he'd give me, because he had all the soda fountains and the soda jerks and the he'd zip the malts and all that shit, and he'd always, and that kind of went away. But he always would give me rock candy. It'd come in a box or on a stick.
Yeah.
He just fed that to me. He'd give me Mountain Dew with sugar poured in the bottom of the Mountain Dew, so that I'd able to just.
Yeah. That was what you drank before you went home. Here.
Yeah. And he ended up moving in with us while he was passing, and he would still give me the Mountain Dew. He'd get Mountain Dew, he'd put in a bunch of sugar in the bottom, and he'd drop a bunch of lemon drops in it. I mean, just the terrible, but it was so good. It was delicious.
It's funny because I haven't had rock candy in so long that I'm guessing that if I were to go back and taste it, it wouldn't even like be reminiscent. It wouldn't compute. But it's just in my brain. That's what it brings me to.
It's a memory. It's not really a taste, right? And it's sugar was different back then. I'm sure.
Oh, right. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
The good stuff. Eric B asks, does Jarrod like summer or winter barrel pulls more? I think I know this answer.
So, man, I like right now. So we have to push September to like October, November, probably, if we do that again. But honestly, I don't know if everyone enjoyed that as much as the blends and whatnot. So, but to answer that directly and non-word saladly, I'd say that I like summer. I like summer for finishing. So if I'm going to finish a barrel, summer gets the job done fast. Yeah. But when it comes to barrel pulls, I'm like a November, October, really October, November, depending on the weather. And then like last year, we had what they call a diurnal change, I believe, where the large diurnal change. We had a lot of those swings, diurnal swing, I believe, something like that. Yeah, I use it in wine, but it's not so much how hot it gets or how cold it gets, but the gap, the space in between that.
Oh, okay. So what you're doing right now is you're doing wine speak, which I've heard you do this before, and no idea. But you keep going. Diurnal swings.
So I think that's what matters the most. If Wessler, if you're on here, can you call me out for being wrong if I'm wrong, or give me a little yes, you're right if I'm right. But I think it's what it is. And so like this year, like we had a big diurnal swing where it got warm in January, got cold again, got warm in February, got cold again, got warm in March. And if you look at what we released, it's some fire. Like that batch 75, like that rye that was finished in Willet and Stag, Amma 77, I believe was February. Son of a bitch. It's just like we got several barrel pulls, but they answer that in maybe a shorter way. I like it in the late fall and the early spring. That's my favorite.
Do you think the barrels taste different once they've been hot all summer, and then like they start getting cold and warming up a little bit and getting cold, warming up a little bit, getting cold, like that's prime time rather than because by the time winter's over, what type of temperatures do you see through January and February?
Well, I gotta look, but like I'm talking t-shirt weather. Like if you're in January and you can wear a t-shirt, your barrels are probably starting to be good. Like the year before last, I was scared to death, man. January and February hit. I was just like, we are fucked. What are we gonna do? What we can do in that position? If I had to, I could put something and back then we were smaller too. Like,
yeah.
So I could put something in a barrel, and we turned a room in the back into a hot room, like a yoga room for barrels.
Yes,
room for barrels.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
like tell them the barrels to do downward dogs and stuff.
No, we just
like hot yoga.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll do that. We'll let it sit in there for a few days, bring it out for a few days, let it in there a few days. Like we'll go back and forth. And a lot of times we can spur and just find the perfect moment. We'll try it every day, twice, 3 times a day. And we'll just find that perfect moment and we can pull it off that way. Kind of like what King Kentucky does, but we call it hillbilly cycling, but we just roll it around and shit. We can force something to work, and we haven't had to do that this entire year, which is nice, but not that I can think of. But pretty sure we haven't this year. No. So yeah, temperature wise, it's t-shirt weather, and then it gets cold as crap, and then t-shirt weather, and that's really, if that happens, boy, I tell you what, we can make some cool shit.
Do you think that do you think that the barrels actually taste better during that period? Mm-hmm. Or do you think that when it is Hell's Kitchen hot in Bourbon, Missouri, with all the humidity and like the dog days of summer, you just don't really enjoy tasting whiskey?
No,
like you're just...
we do have good stuff in the summer, but it's not like the barrels don't, in my opinion. I mean, barrels fine. Summer barrels are fine, but I just like that time for finishing. You can finish something in like a day in the heat of summer, but then, I just like one of the magic things, the magic piece of what we do is like kind of the unknown of the barrel. And, we don't have any control over that portion. All we can do is work hard, and kind of meet it where it's at, and so that is, to answer his question, that's why, and some folks, I think they really focus on fall, not so much the spring, but I love them both for different reasons. And I guess it's all the same. We're a little, I guess for picking something in the spring, it gets warmer. So I guess the juice gets into the wood and kind of filters through the wood, but the other way in the winter, just squeezes it all out, and you're just kind of there.
So I'm not sure how I interrupted you to get off on
you didn't
this, but you were saying with these light whiskey barrels, I got excited because I was like, oh shit, like these are going to be really good double barreled if they're, they turn out the way that we think. But so you're looking into like new charred oak barrels.
Yeah. I was thinking we would go to McGinnis unless you have a better idea.
I don't know what McGinnis is.
So McGinnis is and Cameron Feek knows all of this, and actually all the McGinnises, and I'm friends with Cameron Feek of Speyside, but I think I heard this first from him, and I got to have a lunch with Cameron and the McGinnis family. But it was kind of cool. I was like, hey, he's like, hey, I'm down here talking to McGinnis, blah, 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 whatever. They work with McGinnis and Speyside, they help each other. But he's like, come down and have dinner with us or whatever. And I went down there, and it's like it's kind of cool because like you have Speyside and then you have McGinnis at the same table, and they're not competitive at all. They're just like, they're there together as like a family. And it was really, really fucking cool. I loved it. And if you didn't know better, you thought they all were in the same mission, and I guess they are,
yeah.
But so Ben said something about wanting to do some stuff, and I could go down there to Ben, and we could be like, hey, I don't know how you want to play this, but we could be like, we want char, we could do char 2, char 3, char 1, char 2, char 3, char 4, char 5, and we could do different toasts. And anything we can do, heavy char or heavy toast, mid toast, low, baby toast, whatever. And but then I want to look at the barrels and kind of have a plan. So I don't know if we want to do some experimental, get super experimental with it and try to figure out what really works.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the best way. I always think about it that way. We're something small at first, to see which one you like best. I mean, no matter what, they're all going to turn out to be something that can be blended for sure. But by experimenting with a little bit of this char, this toast, this char, that, then you'll find out which one is the favorite, which one is changes the whiskey in the way you want it to go the best.
It's long-term thinking. You're not going to get and then we can maybe take and blend those together. We'll find a good blend in that. I mean,
sure,
no doubt. And
yeah, there are different ways to think about it. Or you could say, I'll take, X amount of these. Like I'll take 10 of this, 10 of this, 10 of this, 10 of this, and then, or you can just go full balls into, because if it's almost like being ignorant about like, if you don't know what something else tastes like, if you just went, take this char, this toast, but then you just didn't know like what else, what the other possibilities were.
Yep.
You know,
That's kind of where that's what I think would be good for us. And what we could do is to experiment with them, figure it out. And we'll just go find more 17-year-old, maybe we have, at the end of it, we have this amazing blend, possibly the best American whiskey ever sold, with, if we do something nobody's ever done, it could be just amazing. I know it'll be amazing either way, and we can also monitor them while they're finishing. But yeah, we should at least do some of this. We could get 15. Here, I'm gonna throw this at you. Apologize, everybody's having to follow this. I'm just washing machine up in my brain.
no, this is, I love when people get to see us just chatting and talking, because it is just talking shop behind the scenes, kind of like this is what we do and what it's fun. I mean, if people don't enjoy watching it, they won't watch. But if, as an outsider, if I would love to listen to this shit when,
It's fun. I mean, it's real.
if you don't like it, then if you don't like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and then tell your friends about it, and you can leave if you'd like. But that's it.
So we could do 15-gallon barrels and do a different toast and char treatment on those.
I don't like that idea. No, I don't like that idea at all.
You don't like 15-gallon. Do you know the barrel size of the toasted of the toast of the Delta is 15-gallon and Gamma.
But those were blended into a larger project.
Oh, yeah. That's true. They weren't great on their own. You're right.
I think that, and I mean, I am so willing to be wrong.
No.
But the majority of things I've tasted out of a small barrel, they take those flavors on so quickly.
They do.
And it gets like, for example, I did like my very own homemade one, which is what I'm doing right here. This is a funny little joke. Look at that. See that?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It is fun. This is what I do at home.
I love those fucking glasses, dude. I want those so bad.
But like when you put these like oak, even like staver sticks inside of a 750 or something, it happens so fast. Like I think that the American whiskey, bourbon, and they got lucky by choosing the 53-gallon barrel. By luck, it just happened that in Kentucky and in the Midwest, that sized barrel with the distillate in those temperatures made magic. Do you know what I mean? If a standard sized barrel was small back then, if they used a bunch of small barrels and that's what whiskey was aged in, I don't know if I would have fallen in love with bourbon.
It sounds like a Jarrod rant, kind of.
A Jarrod rant?
It could be. Could be definitely a Jarrod rant. Yeah.
I learned from the best,
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I hate 15-gallon barrels unless I'm using them. Just to be clear on that,
that makes so much sense. Because you're in charge of that, and you taste them, and you know when it's time.
I've never liked
that makes sense.
Gallon, like all that journeyman stuff. Oh my goodness, it's like Lowe's in a bottle.
Hey, we don't need to talk bad about any specific company.
Oh shit! Can you take that down?
No, you're live, Jarrod.
I forgot.
You're totally right.
No, I just don't like the Corset and Whips. I think they have good stuff. They don't use.
The wheat whiskey.
Yeah, I didn't like the wheat. I felt like it tasted like Lowe's.
I used to. Oh my gosh! I used to have a clip, and it was the funniest. I deleted it. I had it. Damn it! I had it in my little clip folder, like my video clips. I wonder. Hold on. Let's keep talking, and while we're talking, I want to see if I have it because it's like one of my favorite things. I don't have it. I don't even think it was on this computer. Anyway, I'm not going to waste our time looking for this, but it was Oh, I poured some too. I was going to tell you, and then I didn't tell you. Which one did you just pour?
Hold on. This is. It sounds good. Can you hear this?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sounds. One of them.
This one is 6.
Oh, I didn't pour 6, but I will. I'll pour that one next. So I had a
What did you pour?
7, 17, and 16.
16 after these two, then.
I'll pour 6. So I had a clip of Fred Minnick reviewing the Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey, and like him talking about it, like describing it, and then I meshed the clip together with Dan Shook tasting Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey blind,
Yeah.
and Fred was like, he's like, it's so, it's like saying all these good things about it. And then it cut directly to Shook being like, it tastes like a seashell on a shitty beach. Without, like, it was, but I don't know, it was like a perfect way of saying, well, some people love, other people not a fan of, you know what I mean?
I got Whiskey of the Year twice, 2 years in a row. So it's like, I don't want to talk shit, but
Not from Shook, it didn't.
I bought it. And in no fucking way. And I bought the Whiskey of the Year, this last one, which was a Scotch. I can see how that one would get it. I do understand that, but
You enjoyed that one?
It's actually pretty good, yeah. But I don't. I just don't understand that got Whiskey of the Year. I bought the bottle. I guess every batch is different or something, but I don't know. I kind of gave up on for like a year of trying to win that, I guess, or worrying about it, if that makes sense, like beating myself up over it because
That's not, yeah, don't do that. I mean, you've won an award for everything you've ever submitted.
So you say you're doing 6?
So you said you poured 6, so I just did that.
Oh, I did. Oh shit! What did you pour? I'm sorry.
So we already tasted 10 and 5. I poured 7, 17, and 16.
7. Okay.
These are interesting. They are different, which
They are different. Like
I've done light whiskey single barrel picks before, and like choosing between 4 single barrels of it, and I'd blind myself. I'd write down my favorites on the nose and palate, then like mix them up and do it again, and mix them up and do it again, and I have a different favorite every time
yeah.
because a lot of times they're very, very similar. But these ones are significantly different.
So sorry to do this to you again. You have 11, 15. No, 11, 5, 7.
10.
You have 10.
No, didn't we start with 10 and 5?
Jesus, I'm backwards. 11, ALW 11, but it says batch 10.
All right, yeah, that's what. Yeah, the 11 was the inches, so it was batch 10.
No, 11 is the batch because the inches are the ones with the 0.5, 0.7, and all that stuff.
I know. I was just seeing if you knew.
No, I'm on for a minute.
You're totally right.
So 11, 5.
What? No. Is that right? Oh yeah, you're totally right. Absolutely.
So 11.
I honestly, every time I look at them, I get confused, and then I have to sort myself out. So yes, 11,
Yeah.
5, 7, 17,
Okay. Now pour
16, and 6.
16 and 6. So 17. Okay. Dude.
We should have started with 1,
Like
right?
17. What's the other number on the? You said 17.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You mean 12?
Oh boy. Oh. Let me tell you what I did, and then.
Confused.
Oh, great. Never mind. So I'm not that. Okay, I almost was almost too honest with you, to the point where you might just let me go tomorrow. But then I realized that I wasn't that dumb. So, 17 is not 17. 17 is 6.
Okay.
Because it says ALW 6. So that's 6,
Okay.
right? But it's 17
Okay,
inches.
Six and then 17 inches.
So
Okay.
when you said that you poured 6 and I couldn't find it, then I looked at my hand. I'm like, oh shit, I have it in my hand.
But did I pour 6?
I don't know.
Shit. But okay, so look, I'm gonna start at the beginning again. ALW 11, ALW 5,
Yep.
ALW 7,
Yep.
ALW 6.
Yeah.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah, and then
And then
is
I
there a 16?
think so.
No, that's ALW 4.
There you go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is it in that order though? Is the middle? Yeah. Okay. There we go.
So
Are you putting my L7 at the end or in the middle?
it was in the exact order that you just said it.
Okay. 11, 5, 7, 6, 4.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the part that was the embarrassing part that I realized at the very end wasn't embarrassing was, so I smelled one, and then I smelled the one next to it, and I said how surprisingly different they were, even though a lot of times light whiskey's not different. Then I realized that 17 and 6 were the same ones.
That's funny.
But that's when I was like, shit, you're gonna fire me after this.
Different time.
But then I realized I put them out of order, so I was tasting
Oh, that's good.
4 next to 6, not 17 next to 6. So it wasn't the ones they weren't the same ones. But for a second, I thought that they were.
I'm gonna grab some more Glens. I'm just gonna line up a shit ton of Glens and leave them all out here and get air because they're changing as they get air pretty
Hell yeah.
drastically. Be right back.
They smell different. They're the same bottle. I think. To be safe, I should put down the one that I labeled 17 and keep the one I labeled 6, even though I'm 99% sure they're the same bottle. There. Forget about it. This must be hard to watch. I'm sorry. This is a disaster. I mean, not the stream, but what I'm doing here with all this stuff. I'll kick that over later for sure. Joey B's here. Paul Clausen. I'm sorry that I'm not keeping up with the chat like I should. I apologize. Has Matt released? That's hells yeah. Russell's 13, not 15. That was a stream. That was a wild one. Cam's in the house. What's up, dude? What's up, Cameron? High five. Nice to see you, buddy. Jeff Perkins is here. When you experience palate fatigue while tasting barrels, do you power through or take a break? Honestly, Jeff, that depends when. I'm never comfortable tasting if I think I have palate fatigue. The only time I power through a tasting when I have palate fatigue is if I'm on a live stream doing a blind flight. And then I'll mention it. I'll be like, I'm pretty sure my palate's shot, and then I'll continue. But for example, when I was in Midland or Freeland is I guess more specific, doing the blend with Dan and Sean. At the end of that day, I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't know what tastes good and bad anymore. Like, we're at the we got to be done tasting stuff for the day because I can't do it anymore. Like, and when you're working on a project or something, you really have to be honest with yourself. Because if you're not being honest with yourself and shit tastes different and funny and weird,
Somebody
or
else
just off, then like what are you're really not even blending anymore. Like shit. If I went back to after the end of the day yesterday, it tasted really good. But yeah, you just have to be honest with yourself. Unless, of course, you're doing a live stream and somebody sends you a flight. Then you just power through and make an excuse right away. Sortation error. That is the weirdest. That should be a sticker name, Cam, by the way. I sent Cam a box and it got stuck, like UPS screwed it up. It was an overnight shipment. And you know how much overnight shit costs. Obviously you sent shit to me. But we checked tracking when it's supposed to be there, and it's stuck in Denver and it says sortation error. I'm like, that's not even a real word. What do you? I don't know. I guess it's a noun or something.
Sortation, is that real? It's not real.
It's somebody looked up. It's a noun instead of a verb, or a verb instead of a noun. Like sorting would be a verb. Sortation, I guess, is a real word.
Yeah.
It sounds like a word that my children would come up with. And then make an excuse why their room isn't clean. Oh, sortation error, Dad.
That's funny. I think depends on how you use it. Maybe like no. It's a verb though. It's in the past tense, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because there's a sorting process.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I failed that shit.
Tony Bag of D's. What's up, Tony? Hello, Barrel Bros. That's a good intro. I wish I were enjoying a delicious pour of Barrel King right now, but I've chosen to take a dry week. Jarrod, I want to thank you for the amazing job you're doing. BK fan for life. Hell yeah! Tony Bag of Donuts. Tony sends the best emails and messages. He just really is an uplifting, supportive, positive person, and I love that. Thank you, Tony.
He makes our day quite often, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. So,
thank you,
here's
Tony.
7.
We appreciate everything.
Wow. 7's ridiculous.
7. So that's one. That's my favorite so far. On the nose, I haven't had it, but I don't think it's made on the nose.
I actually opened this. This is one of the higher proof ones. I opened this one like right when I got the box of samples. Actually, I opened 2. This is one of them, and I was like, "Good grief!"
So this American whiskey hasn't been blended yet, but what I've noticed, like a lot of times I have American whiskey, it's like this real high frequency experience, and it's not super complex to me.
Right.
These fucking things are kind of complex. Like that number 7 reminds me of like a bourbon, like an old Carter bourbon, or something. I know it's
it's missing it's missing a layer, but it's almost there. It's like it's super sweet,
there,
right?
Like the flavors there, but I feel like you see a layer. Like for me, there's not enough tannin because it didn't have that barrel. You know what I'm saying? It had a used barrel. It's like it's all sweet, not enough tannin. And maybe that's why double barreling is just magic with these things.
Do you feel where it almost settles on the part of your tongue? And you can feel it. It's there.
Like the front.
But it never hits the back of the palate. It never like coats that back of the palate and gives you that. And it's so weird how you can just feel where it stops.
That's what moonshine does, to be honest. Just like corn whiskey. That's what it does. Yeah, no shit, huh? That's interesting. That makes me.
So, wow, that is like halfway down the tongue. It draws a line.
Yeah.
And then it's over. But
there, ever. It's weird.
So like that's the experience, or that's the goal, is make it a full experience. The hell is that now you're drinking out of a bottle?
That's the tank. I was just seeing if the tank.
Oh.
What we've been trying to do is get using those Speyside 7-year barrels with a little bit of toast on them to try to get the palate to carry to the back. Mm-hmm. That's really that's the issue. That's that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm. My mom says a sortation error. Sortation is so she made it more complicated.
Isn't an adjective kind of like a verb or something? No, explain something. Sortation is an adjective?
Yeah.
So it's
No, you're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. It's an adjective.
adjective.
No. Oh man, that's oh geez. Adjective.
It's like
Shit.
it's like asking my dad to say toilet. He goes, toilet. He can't fucking do it.
Right, there's an R. in it.
Cigarette. Cigarette.
Yeah.
He said cigarette.
Or like getting a tuna sandwich, like a British. It's not tuna. I watched the Conor McGregor video the other day when he was like obsessing over the moon. Who knows what kind of stuff he was on, but it's like, look at the moon, look at the moon, the fucking moon.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
He can
How-
fucking
what?
say whatever he wants, you know what I'm saying?
Who slapped a Y in there? The fucking moon. I don't know.
I seen something with him. Like he was eating food on like his yacht, and he was like kind of eavesdropping on something going. And he just does everything so with such intent.
Oh yeah.
When he's eating like a plate of food, he acts like he's killing the food at the same time. It's just fucking. He got up and he's like, "Fuck!" He's just dances to a different beat. His fucking beat.
Yeah.
You know.
I've had friends like that before, where you have to be on, like you have to be alert at all times. Like,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
personality, I'm constantly evaluating other people's feelings, like way too closely. I'm always overanalyzing stuff. But around a super intense person like that, I think that's probably warranted, and I would fit in really well. I'd like
have
know
to
all the bits and pieces. Where I'm like, oh, he like his left eye twitched 3 times. Like, time to get him out of here,
That's
or
fun.
just leave yourself.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Watch
Nick
the-
Foles does this. The moon. It's the moon. I can't even.
That's so funny. That sounded like him.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna pour some random stuff. It don't matter where
Yeah.
they're at.
So 7 is one of the more full-bodied ones.
Yeah, it's for me. That's shit. God, it
Ooh,
smells
6.
so good.
I think I might like 6 more though. 6 is like a spritier version, a bit more carbonated, like a lemon lime soda, but not lemon lime flavored. But it has the same feeling of drinking like a citrusy beverage, carbonated
So-
citrus beverage.
You smell the fermentation on the nose, boy. I tell you what, the palate's banging on 6. But there's a little bit of fermenty on that, and it's like a little. It's like a oh man, like maybe even a yeast thing or something.
Huh. You are dialed in much further than I am.
Well, I took these fucking classes, these fall classes that last like 6 fucking hours, and all you do is smell. Literally, all you do is smell shit all day.
I've been doing that lately, just smelling random stuff.
Like if you take a nose number 7 next to number 6, 7 on the nose should be full, and then like 6 should be 6 to me is just kind of. I get the lemon lime, so that's a great adjective of what this is.
There's always an English teacher somewhere that's like going, nah.
Oh yeah, yeah. On my text to the group to the BK team tonight, Lauren corrected my "your" with an apostrophe in there. It's like,
Oh, like you are kind of thing.
yeah.
The contraction.
If I don't know that by what am I 47, ain't gonna happen.
No.
You know?
My Charlie, she's my youngest. She asked me how to spell stuff, but she spells it in her head like she sounds it out, or like she thinks she hears it. I'm like, what on earth are you trying to spell? Because it's like different letters. It'd be like some like tuna, like a tuna sandwich.
That's funny.
So she'd be like CHUN. I'm like, what? No. Like it doesn't start with a ch. It starts with a t.
Dude. Just got it.
But then she actually said, she's been working. She has a bit of a problem with her F's and TH's, the difference. So the other day after school, she gets in the truck and she goes, "Are you proud of me that now I know the difference between f and f?"
That's fucking good, dude.
I was like, I asked her,
Like,
like,
that's on camera.
I was like, what? The
Yeah.
what and the what? The f and the f. She still's not there.
That's cute.
I got more of a bready note after smelling and tasting the 6. When I went back to the 7 on the nose is where I got more of a bready note.
On 7,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just weird.
yeah. It's like I think it is bready, and I think it's also like a little cardboardy, a little confection, a lot of confection area sugars. I just like that fucking nose so much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you're right. On 6, I think it's the palate. I think is better.
So one of the very first blend, actually no, it's not
Good.
It was the very first blend I ever did. Was with Gene Nassif, Cat's Eye Distillery,
Yeah.
and he has a product called Nassif Family Reserve. It's in a Pappy bottle. It's like it's cool. It's a cool little thing, but.
Yeah.
It's MGP rye, MGP bourbon, and MGP light whiskey blended together, and it's never the same blend. Like this part this, that part that. So he sent me a bunch of samples of each product, and I blended the product together, like how I saw fit, right?
Yeah.
And it was a really neat project because light whiskey heavy ones tasted completely different than rye heavy ones and bourbon heavy ones. And it was really neat, but I think that I prefer the light whiskey blended with rye more than I do with bourbon, which is very strange.
They act a lot alike. So, like, if you take bourbon sometimes and put rye into bourbon, but you know this, it gets it thins it out almost. It this changes. It kind of breaks down the things I love about bourbon. You know,
It seems like they fight together, like they fight more than meld well together sometimes until you get the right.
kind of incoherent sometimes. It's got to be the perfect match. You know, that makes sense. And actually, I would see where the rye and the they would complement each other. Yeah, it's interesting.
So let me tell you what I did yesterday, and you're gonna laugh, or you probably won't laugh unless you go, "Ha ha, you're so funny," like you do sometimes. I kind of like it when you do that. So I tasted one of these light whiskey barrels, and I ran to the liquor store, and I've been bugging you about a finishing barrel for a long time, but I didn't know how to utilize it yet. And do you remember which finishing barrel that no one's ever done? Amaretto. So I tasted one of these things, and I was like, "Holy shit! I wonder what an amaretto barrel with light whiskey would be." So I ran to the store and I bought a bottle of Di Serrano, which I know isn't a traditional amaretto, but that's what I had this stick soaking in amaretto all night.
Seriously? Oh shit!
Yeah. So then I just put it in here because I just wanted to see like if it projects.
Our fantasy label got approved, and it was like
I was going to mention that tonight and see if you wanted to talk about it.
it's super basic shit. Like we just said, American whiskey finished in a conditioned whiskey barrel and wine barrel, I think.
So that was approved by the TTB already?
Yeah, like what does conditioned even mean? I don't even know. Like, I really honestly didn't think they were gonna. I thought it was gonna spur a conversation, and they were gonna talk to me about some of this shit. But they okayed it. And conditioning, you can condition a barrel with anything. So I think it just gave us the keys to do whatever the fuck we want.
I mean, it makes sense, and that would be a fantasy blend. Would be an amaretto.
It would be
conditioned barrel, because amaretto doesn't age in barrels.
No,
that I know of.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of amarettos. There's not a lot out there. Like there's not a lot to choose from. Yeah. What? You excited, dude? Is it good?
I mean, I didn't. So I just put that stick in there. What, 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, and then I didn't. I didn't know if it was going to take on any of the flavor, but it did.
Oh, I guarantee it.
I like that.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Well,
Shit. That's actually what I was worried about was it being too sweet.
yeah, I would be too. Yeah. But like a younger bourbon or something, or a punchy bourbon. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
But I don't think it got sweeter. I just think that it changed the flavor a bit. And that's, I mean, who knows what it would do in a conditioned barrel
Yeah, dude.
versus
Especially
a
let it
soaked
sit there for a
oak
while.
stick. But the flavors work well together. Way better than a bourbon and better than a rye. I just love amaretto.
That's funny.
I can't help it.
Hey, I have that shit. I have those problems. I have those things too. There's some things I just fucking can't get over.
Like, if I go somewhere and they're like, "What do you want to drink?" and I'm like, "Do I want whiskey, amaretto, Diet Coke?" all day long.
Yeah.
My breath will smell like the world's worst sugar breath, but I don't give a shit. You know?
Did you drink amaretto when you was younger?
No.
No.
I learned about amaretto when I got older. Had I known about it when I was younger, I would have been all over it. You know? But I didn't really. So Christ is Lord says, bring back the Will It Blend series. The funny thing about the Will It Blend series is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the best video to make that people will watch and 10 being an absolute fucking terrible idea. No, it's a 10. I wasn't the only one who tried to do those videos. Jarrod tried it. Other people tried it. Nobody watches those videos. So it's like taking one whiskey and a different whiskey. Like my idea was like randomly. Like, will this whiskey and this whiskey work together? Will it blend?
Yeah.
But no.
I was like using Willet or something.
No.
Oh, you might be like trying to use Willet.
No, just saying like it was a play off of an old blender videos, actually. The Blend Tech blender. They did videos like Will It Blend, and they put like an iPad or an iPod in a blender to see if they could shred an iPod in the blender, that kind of thing.
Oh my god. Do you have ALW3?
I'm sure I do. Oh, right here.
Can you try that and eliminate that, or do you love it? I want to eliminate 2 of these if you can find 2 to eliminate. But I had just enough blends for 5, 4, 9. Yeah.
By the way, so I'm thinking about doing a birthday stream on Monday, just for the shits of it. It's my 40th birthday.
Okay.
Which is weird because I always thought 40 was the oldest, and now I'm 40 and I feel both the super young and extremely old at the same time, which is probably what 40 should feel like. But like maybe I'll just do like a random 40 year birthday stream on Monday. In case I don't, I want to take this time to say thank you to all of our veterans and anyone who served in our military. Honestly, we're here because you fucking let us. So if you are a veteran of our armed forces, thank you so much for doing that and keeping America America. Love you and cheers. This is
Cheers
ALW3. Yeah. It's weird sharing a birthday on Veterans Day was a mixed bag of emotions because I felt like it was my birthday. All the focus should be on me, but damn it, it's Veterans Day. And the focus should be on the veterans. And I feel very guilty wanting it to be more on me. You know? It was just a funny thing growing up. But Trev Wilson, if you're watching, cheers, buddy. Do you say eliminate this one?
No, so look, so that's interesting. So do you not get the fermenty part of that? Because I'll tell you what else it could be. Maybe if it's not fermenty, maybe because it's so short, it's only 9 inches. But like the nose to me, it's like just all fermentation. It's like, to me, it's like all like yeast or something. And then like but the palate's really good.
It's weird because let me say this. A lot of these are so similar that having one that is possibly yeasty on the nose or different might change a blend in a direction that you want it to change or that is better. Does that make sense? Instead of having a bunch of the same things going into something.
Oh yeah. Flaws are definitely things that people look for to make whiskey great in the end. Yeah. I get what you're saying totally.
But so you saw a flaw in it, like you think it's like
well, I mean kinda, but not really, because like those are the I've never heard I've heard people say how there's so many flaws in a lot of the whiskeys that we're all buying. Like
that's the worst one we tried.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's flawed. So it has a great feel on the palate, and we could use this, if it didn't ruin everything else, for a palate. But I don't like. So I'm gonna eliminate that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's not something that, like, if you were to pick favorite barrels, that is. It's almost shit. It reminds me of like some sort of an art supply. Like I can't quite put my finger on it. It's not Sharpie. It's not, but it reminds me of art class for some reason, but in a weird.
It has a Sharpie thing going on, but not the same, right? It's like those paint pens or something.
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't necessarily enjoy that at all.
So a lot. I've heard a lot of folks talk about how there's a lot of flaws in a lot of whiskey that we champion, like for instance, like the root beer note or the cheese note in, for instance, which I fucking love, and I think Dan Shook loves it, but it's in Wilderness Trail. I think some of those single barrels are really, really, and some folks say that's like some professionals say that's like a fault, and but at the same time, it doesn't matter what it is. You can call it a fault because it's not perfect, but I don't perfect. I like different things.
Sure.
I just heard Jackie Zycan. Is that ZY? Yeah, can.
Yeah, Jackie Zycan. Shook knows all about her.
I thought I was going to say Zycam, but Zycan. But Jackie Zycan did a podcast here recently where there was 2 takeaways for me. One was like talking about how people that do reviews tearing down brands, and I'm like totally agree with where she's coming from, because it always has there's a fallout. There's real people, real people, real families connected to all that, and a lot of times the samples that they're doing reviews on aren't even the ones they paid for. They just get them given to them from a bottle that was used 4 different times by a guy across, all this shit. So, but then she also talked about
somewhat have like a 1 ounce Wednesday sort of feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, but you don't go just tearing people down. I don't think it's
I have in the past, and I felt bad about it, and I don't really necessarily do that anymore.
We all grow, So I have done a lot of things in the past I'm not proud of, but I'm proud of who I am right now. So it's all good. So
I love who you are right now.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Love it.
I love you too. So Jackie then went on to talk about how these barrel, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but because I was listening to it like 1.5. Does anybody do that? Listen to podcasts on 1.5? So it's like,
most people listen to my shit at 2x. So it sounds normal. Yeah.
But I think when she talked about how flawed barrels are really what we're looking for at the end, because it just gives it some character, and totally fucking agree. I don't care if it's flawed, like, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not flawed.
So, there are some flaws that just overall taste bad. If a sarsaparilla or a root beer note is a flaw or like a fault, then
Yeah.
You enjoy that, you know, that uniqueness, or that if you enjoy something that doesn't taste like, if that flavor profile came out of an error or it getting through a process it shouldn't have gone through, but you enjoy it, then you enjoy what you enjoy. It's kind of like, oh shit, what do you call it when you take a sugar pill but all of your anxiety goes away? The
Yeah. It's placebo.
like a placebo effect.
Yeah.
If it works, and it shouldn't work, great, more power to you. Like, that's, who cares, right?
Yeah. I love the placebo. I'll take that any day. You know?
Of course, I mean, it's no different than actual medication. if it works, it works. You know.
Yeah, I agree. All about it.
But there are some faults that, like, if you ever had like a really wet basement, like, disgust, like, it smells like you walked into Jeffrey Dahmer's. Not Jeffrey Dahmer. He didn't have a basement. He had an apartment. Maybe like a John Wayne Gacy basement, where you're like, oh, like, what is that? You know.
I like some of that shit. I like those basement notes. It's like,
oh man, that's a terrible time for you to say like that.
Cobwebs, fucking dusty, fucking. As long as it's like
mildew
or something. You know?
Oh, it smells like I could. I don't know. But I mean, I can see where faults are faults and are unacceptable. But if they're faults that some people enjoy, I guess some people will enjoy anything.
I think sometimes it's a fault to the people making it because they're trying to be the certain profile and they can't use it in their blend, and maybe they don't sell it as a single barrel. I think that's like why it's a fault, right? Because they are trying to do this. But for us, we all get excited about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's what makes something unique. A lot of times, things that go through a tasting process with a group of tasters or like a tasting panel, I think faults are more used to determine whether or not people they're relying on to taste their product are on point or if they're off.
Yeah.
So if you pour 4 samples and one of them is intentionally faulted, and 3 of your tasters can pick up on the fault, and then the 4th one can't, then you're like, hey, dude, take some time, come back and try it. Like, because they're expecting the people they're relying on to make sure their product is the best it can be, or is repeatable, like something that's a shelfer, like Jack Daniel's No. 7. To make sure that tastes the same every time or as close as possible, they have to rely on a panel of tasters and people going through it to be like, yeah, this is it, for sending it out. Or these are like the barrels that we're putting in there, from this lot. But if there are people on there who are unreliable, then, what good are they? Kind of a thing.
If I ever told
Put them on paid leave is what we like to do around here in this garage.
You should always listen to all your tasters. I know, like, I just heard a story I think it was a sensory clinic I went to, and the dude was like trying to teach sensory, and he's trying to like make an app that we can all use for sensory stuff in the industry. But
okay,
he goes, he told a story of like the number 1 beer in Australia, and this is all just hearsay, but this guy knew his shit.
Founders.
Huh?
Australian for beer.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I love that shit.
No, it's not Founders. What the hell was it?
It's an oil can. Yeah, but Foster's.
Foster's. That's what it was.
Yeah. So the Australia had this number 1 beer. They had their tasters taste the beer. One person said something's wrong. It was like 12, 20 people, whatever. And then like they're like, okay, let's try again tomorrow. Went back, let them try it again the next day. Something was wrong. And they just said, it was like 1 out of 20 people. And they said, I think you're just off. And they went forward with it. And then turns out that he wasn't wrong, or she wasn't wrong. Ended up being a new pesticide that they used on all of the wheat and like barley and all the stuff the beer people made, and it and they ended up like they lost their play, like were like number 4 or 5 or something. Like they weren't the number 1 beer in Australia because they didn't listen to that taster.
And they had Roundup in their whiskey.
It is something like that, and it turns out only so many people are sensitive to that, but the ones who can taste it, it's very obvious. And then it got out. They're like, "Oh shit, you got Roundup in your beer." Yeah,
sure.
So he says, "Listen to everybody, even if there's an outlier." You know,
right? So my point wasn't saying that you shouldn't listen to everybody. My point was saying that if somebody can't pick up on, if you're expecting them to pick up on a few aspects, like this is what we don't want in our whiskey.
Yeah.
And then you taint a whiskey artificially with that note or something, and they just don't. Because I mean, we all have days where we're better or worse, right? Like,
oh yeah,
you're mentioning the yeasty notes or like a fermentation note on these, and I'm struggling. Like I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm trying to find it, and either. Okay, by the way, this is a fucking perfect example. 2 nights ago, I air fried scallops for my wife. This entire house, and then last night she made like a salmon chowder. This house is like overwhelmingly super potent. All of my clothes. We went bowling last night. She's like, "Babe, you stink," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "You smell like body odor." I'm like, "Babe, them friggin' scallops."
That's funny.
That's like buttered scallop. Like the whole house smells like it. We can't. It takes a while to get that smell out of the house. So
she's chowder. She really wants chowder.
No. So it's called Kalamoika. It's a Finnish salmon chowder. It's one of my top 5 favorite foods ever.
Really?
It's phenomenal. And we didn't have all the ingredients. We didn't have leeks. Do you know what leeks are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any leeks around here, so like the chowder didn't have leeks in it, but still phenomenal.
I say, oh yeah, isn't leeks kind of like an onion, like a green onion?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fat green onion, yeah.
Yeah, they grow wild up in Michigan.
So I had a hankering for chowder like Sunday, so I ordered a full belly Ipswich clams. They like overnighted them to me. They got here yesterday, and actually they have like these like 5-pound lobsters that only have 1 claw, so they're selling them for like $40 or some shit.
Oh, that's sad.
So I got it's sad. It was actually a blue one. They gave me a blue, like those blue ones. They're like hard to find or whatever. I got a blue lobster.
They're blue because they were sad.
Maybe. I'm making chowder. Actually, I'm making chowder tomorrow. I boiled the lobster tonight, and our whole house just smells terrible. It was still alive when I boiled it. Felt kind of bad about that. I don't know what to do. You know, that motherfucker, he's in that damn box for a long time.
Sometimes you say shit that makes me laugh. So
I didn't know what to do. Like, you just like hit him between the eyes with a hammer. Put a little.
You didn't have to mention the fact that it was still alive when you boiled it, but you did.
It totally was. Dude.
Then you immediately realized it and said, "Oh, I felt pretty bad."
It's not my style. I truly didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's just weird, the whole experience. But I bet you it's delicious.
But normally when we make the salmon chowder, like from Lake Superior salmon or something, like whatever I catch, makes it a little bit more personal. But this shit was like freezer salmon.
Oh,
yeah, and this still is still really good, which kind of hurt my feelings a little bit because I'm like, I thought that I made it special, but it really wasn't me.
I've got some Lake Superior salmon and some Lake Superior Lakers. What do they call them, Lakers? Yeah.
Lake trout, yeah, they call them Lakers, but yeah, lake trout.
The Lakers are way better than the salmon there. It's not even a comparison.
Yeah, there's a really good eating size for those in age. Then when they get too big, they're just too old and fatty, and like they
yeah. Or no,
yeah, they're not as good anymore. But the lake trout, when they're like those 3-4 pound lake trout, oh, they're so damn good. But I challenge you to freaking put the clams in the freezer and make it out of the Lakers instead. Put trout in the chowder instead of the
they're fresh, never frozen. They just shuck these fuckers. Dude, these are full. You ever had a full belly clam? Ipswich? I think it's how you say
No.
it. Dude, fucking believable. You haven't lived until you had a full belly clam and like
Well,
a big one, 4-inch, big clam. What?
No, I haven't.
It's so good.
I would love that.
Like if you look at I'll send you some chowder. That'd be really good
I'll send you some chowder and it'll be really good.
with your freezer fucking salmon. I'm giving you fresh ass clams.
Oh, well, you didn't. How do you know that they were never frozen? Did you?
Dude, I believe
Chain
them.
of custody, man. Chain of custody.
You see the world
You
as
didn't
you are.
know.
You see
You
the world
don't
as
have
you
any
are.
idea. They caught them, they froze them, they thawed them and sent them.
Oh, that's fucking. That
Just
sounds
saying,
like
how would you know?
sounds like some whiskey shit. That sounds like
Like
some
by the-
SP barrel
They're
shit.
like, oh,
right?
but by the time they get to Bourbon, Missouri, they'll definitely be thawed out, fresh,
Sure.
never frozen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just like when we buy barrels from another distillery, they come tainted or something.
Like,
I guarantee these fuckers are perfect.
we didn't know that they were empty. Jerks. Somebody
Yeah.
mentioned that earlier. They're saying, how can they sell, when they know the weight of something, how can they sell empty?
They don't.
Which is-
They're not in that business, you know. And I guarantee you, if like a MGP, even they're housing them, right? So whenever MGP holds them, whenever you actually get them in, it's kind of on you. 'Cause they sold them to you probably when they were younger, you know. And MGP are in the business of selling 15-year-old shit, you know. And so and if they did give you a break on that, I bet you it'd be like 10% of fucking revenue or something. I guess they're down 20 or 25.
But,
you know.
so, but I mean, where's the cutoff? So at some point, you could have received a shipment of completely empty barrels.
Yeah, that's why I've been fucking sick over it ever since we opened. I
It's
can't
scary.
make
That's the scariest.
so we wouldn't survive that. I mean, we would survive that, but we'd have to give away equity or something. It'd be terrible.
You would have to do like the Jim Beam Devil's Share shit, where you're like you throw with like you're just like putting these things on a friggin' spinner and you're trying to get all the liquid out of the barrels you can, and you're like reselling 200 milliliter bottles of Barrel King Devil's Cut. Like
Probably like
this
10
whiskey came,
worth. Yeah.
this whiskey came out of the wood. It's all we had. We're super sorry.
No. That'd be fucking terrible. But no, it's not gonna happen. I don't think so.
I poured 13 ALW 13.
Yeah.
This might be the best one.
If you find another one to get rid of, tell me. So listen, I'm gonna tell you something that has the same nose, that fermenty nose. It's so interesting that you're gravitating towards that.
What, 13?
But it means something. Yeah, but it means something else to me, you know, because like flavors and smells are just memories. We all have a. So you're talking about 13. You talking about the second one or the one you poured here recently? 13.
No, I literally just poured it after it's ALW 13. It says
Yep.
15.5.
Yep.
That's it tastes amazing.
Just yeah, it's insane. Honestly, that's sweet. Woof. That's candy, man.
That one has like 3 layers to it though, and that one's reaching the back of the palate more.
It is.
It creeps back there, which is what some of the other ones were missing.
That's good. Like really good.
Huh.
It does.
Which
have
is
its-
funny because that's one of the lower proofed. That's one of the lower proofed barrels.
Maybe that has why it does that.
Interesting. Matt Barrel Lover says, "Proud of you both and all the BK team." Thank you, Barrel Lover Matt.
Matt,
Super chat. That's incredible.
Matt, is a diurnal swing the correct term for the change
Oh, that's
in temperature?
is that Wessler?
It is.
Friggin' Wessler. He was talking about diurnal turns, like it was like you just ate a bunch of dairy and then you were like, am I gonna? And then you had a diurnal turn and you're like, actually, my tummy's all right.
It's funny. Yeah,
This is the shit that I think of and then edit out of videos.
it's probably
I
not good.
shot, so let me say this. I've been doing unedited One Ounce Wednesdays for the past few weeks. I shot 2 of them for this Wednesday and released neither of them. They were so
Dude,
bad.
I've done that.
So
I've done
bad.
that twice this month. I just didn't put it out at all.
Like, why is this so 40 minutes long? It was the whole thing. Maybe I'll just literally not even look at them. Maybe I'll just upload them and put them on Patreon just so people can look at how bad shit can get.
They'd like that. Those are fun. You send me the fun ones. You're like,
It's so goofy.
try it 40 times. You're like, shit. I love that.
Chrysler, don't they say that banana taste is a flaw? I need to do some research on flawed tasting notes.
Yeah.
I think that they say that is, damn, if Nancy were in here, she'd literally exactly say what that is. It's a byproduct of some chemical. Oh, are you going to be better than Nancy the Nose for shit? No, she's very smart. She is.
Nobody will ever pass her up, to be honest.
She's a wealth of knowledge, and Nancy is what every single one of us considers to be a friggin' legend, and just like, I don't know. There's no touching Nancy Fraley.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, she has a what is that movie? I have a very special set of skills or something, you know, kind of like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And when she finds you, she will kill you.
So isomal acetate.
Oh, acyl acetate. Or
There you go. Thank you. So that's what does the banana. And it's supposed to be a flaw in some things. I mean,
Like there is even of two shit. You know what? Never mind. I was about to say something that was probably wrong, and sometimes you catch yourself before you say it, and I just did that. Yeah.
I
So
think
I've been through a series of those tests before as well, and there were different notes. And I'm probably wrong here, but I thought that. No, you know what? I just did it again. I stopped myself.
Say it.
No, there was a vanilla that was a fault as well. Like too much of a vanilla note.
Maybe.
But it was shit. That was back in 2020 when I did that tasting panel, and then I'm not sure if they wanted me to find the vanilla or if they said it was. Actually no. Maybe actually I don't remember. Never mind.
Trying to think what.
What of her blends would you recommend? So any of the cigar blends, Joseph Magnus cigar blends are fantastic. They do different. They're different. So like some of them are just taste different than other ones, but the Joseph Magnus stuff, she works. Damn, she. Just Google Nancy Fraley and all the projects she's worked. She's worked on so many things, damn projects.
She's got some cigar type blend, Still Austin stuff that blew me away.
Did she do stuff for Wyoming whiskey as well, or was that just Steve Nally?
Yeah,
I think she did some Wyoming whiskey, right?
And I feel like I don't want to speak for her, but it might be possible that she's stepping away and somebody's stepping in there. I'm not sure. Maybe they're Jay Henry. But
yeah. Right. Yeah, she is. There have been some people in the industry who have gone around and helped a ton of different places make their product the best they can be. I look at her as one of those. Another one was, damn it. See, I think I can think of a name, and then I bring myself to the point where I have to say it. Then I freaking shit.
Trying to think who you're thinking of.
The late great. Whistle Pig.
Yeah, Pickerel.
Dave Pickerel. Yes, thank you. Together, and then Kyle's like, Dave Pickerel? Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. She is a Liam Neeson of the blending world legend.
There you go.
Absolutely. So I think that. So when you're saying eliminate, are you saying like eliminate for
Yeah.
what
know.
purpose? Just saying this isn't quality or what?
I only have like 10 Glens or whatever. I just wanted to be OCD.
Rookie.
I know. I am.
I bought 2 cases of 25 one time because I was sick and tired of not having enough. Because when it came to the point of doing a big blind, there was always the problem of like 1 or 2 of the Glens had a logo on it or something.
Yeah.
So it's like it, and pouring things yourself, like it gets to the point where you're like, shit, like I don't want to know what's in the Glen that says Lucky 7 on it,
Well,
but I know for sure.
I'll show you where I got I got a bourbon junkie, and I got ADHD. You know where I got this? I got this from your.
Is that the Advent calendar one?
It is, yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're doing those again this year.
Fun.
Are we doing something for Advent as well? Because we talked about it before, but we
No.
never.
It'll have to be
Okay.
next year. Yeah, I got to look at what.
You have another project around Christmas time.
What now?
You said you have another project you're working on around
do.
Christmas time.
It sounds
Yeah,
fun.
so-
Yeah. Yeah, we looked at what it would cost. It's just we need to start probably doing that like in February for the December if we want to do a really good job at it. And then like not knowing how many would sell. I don't know, didn't know if I wanted to buy all that glass and not really understand what we're looking at either. Let me shut this.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, just
And-
glass for that would be 40 grand. So I was like, I'd rather have barrels this year.
Yeah.
Rather have barrels.
I'd rather have a friggin' Ford Maverick, you know?
Yeah.
So I just poured the last one I think that I had unopened. I don't know, there's another one back there. This one is 12. And as soon as we poured 12, I was like, maybe it's not the ticket, but the more it sits, the longer these sit, the more they develop in the glass, for sure.
So you go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we talked about the fantasy
That's what I was
label.
gonna say. Yeah.
You too. We talked about the fantasy collection. Is that what it's called? Fantasy collection?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you had a label like that printed when I was there with the Junkies and Alves. And I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was for. But I looked at it and I was like, shit, dude, that's like the coolest label. And you should make like a Neapolitan blend or something with it. And you're like, and you joked with me about like, you made a joke. And I was like, okay, I get it. But it's a white.
Because Good Times has a Neapolitan. It's probably like I got.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid saying another.
Oh, I love those guys.
But you're like, what are we, Good Times? And I was like, oh shit. I didn't like, in my brain I thought the colors looked like that, but it's this white label with like a pinkish and greenish the colors on the label are so pretty.
I totally want to rip off Neapol. I mean, honestly, because I don't remember you saying that, but now I do. I thought about it like 2 days ago again. I'm like, fuck, we can do like, oh fuck, they did it, you know.
But I just saw the because you already had a label that it didn't say fantasy collection. It just was that same white, pink,
Color.
and green. And I was like, shit, that looks like that. You could do a Neapolitan something. But
Such a good idea.
the fantasy collection is going to be something that is whiskey finished in, what's the correct word again? Conditioned barrels.
Let me see what I wrote, because it was like, I thought I was going to be fighting forever. I don't know why I'm not fighting it, and they're not saying no. So I was like, I'm just going to throw this out there and see what they tell me to do different.
Yeah. That was the one that they looked at 4:58 on a Friday.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, it was on a Tuesday. So, American whiskey finished and conditioned ex-bourbon, and wine barrels. It's just we're gonna have to do like a composition on the back on the tater or something. So
What's up, Jarrell? Jarrell's in the house. Yeah, it's funny though because when you mentioned that to me, did that make? Because that was part of the conversation we had that you put out on your channel, but I don't know if that made the final cut.
I did talk about it. No, we talked.
And I was like, the funny thing is, when you think fantasy collection, it's literally wide open. It can be.
Wide.
It's like, what's your fantasy? Like, what would you like something to taste like or be part of a whiskey?
Yeah.
And that amaretto thing has always been a part of like something where I wanted to add an amaretto to a whiskey somehow, and nothing I've ever tried really worked. But in my mind, like that's my favorite. Like I want that amaretto note to go with a whiskey really well, and like that's interesting and fun because it doesn't have to be an original amaretto barrel. It can be a conditioned barrel. You know.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's not flavored. It's conditioned.
Not flavored, but whatever. It's like it's still a little hanky, It's a little hanky. I admit it. That's why we put fantasy on it, Because we want to do it. We should not do things we don't that we want to do. That's just the main thing. We're not trying to get out of. Obviously, we put double-digit whiskey in everything we do. We're not trying to do it for another reason. We just want to have fun, Keep it fun. So,
Damn, that 12 is really good too.
12.
These are all. Maybe I'm just in the mood. Where it's
They're
like
pretty
Frank
good.
the Tank. Frank the Tank style. Like, fill it up again.
So, on your thumbnail, it also says MGP News.
Oh yeah. Did it say that on there?
It does. I was
I thought I
surprised.
eliminated that part. But yeah, MGP is they're lowering their production for 2025 based off of what they say is a slowdown in the whiskey market.
Yeah. So you're just gonna see that I think that Evernorth right now, obviously not slowing down. Like they're killing it, right?
Yeah.
But there's a reason. There's lots of reasons, and it's obvious the difference between Evernorth and MGP or any other NDP. Really,
Yeah.
we're not shrinking right now. But I'll tell you, like the growth has slowed for sure. And so I look at that and I'm like, obviously, want to adjust to make sure that all employees are, everybody's safe, everybody gets through whatever kind of slump could come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of like that talk.
But no, it is like, so I'm looking at a lot of different, I'm making sure we don't get caught up in any of this shit. But just so everybody knows, if they don't, I know everybody does, but truthfully, I think that we're going to see at least in 2025, at least 6 NDPs fall off. I mean, it could be like 10 or 20. I don't know. There's a lot of that shit out there.
I mean, there are so many.
There's a lot.
So many.
But
there are so many that we haven't. I go to the store all the time and I see things I've never ever seen before.
So I think some of those might weather the storm because I think like you have like NDPs that are doing really fucking cool and fun shit, and then you have NDPs that just. I think they might call it, I don't even know if they taste the blend. I don't know what's, you can taste some of this stuff and tell there wasn't a whole lot of put into it.
Well, dude, did you see this though? So while MGP is slowing down production, and as we anticipate some NDPs that maybe aren't doing the best, could fall off.
Yeah.
Did you see that Ric Flair is coming out with his own whiskey?
No.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Woo! Ric Flair's like, I don't give a shit. We're coming in full force. And I kind of dig that. Somebody said this is the whiskey, the celebrity whiskey nobody asked for, and I'm on the other team.
I would actually buy that bottle. I'd at least give it a shot. That guy's been through a lot of life, man. And,
for sure.
He's real.
I don't care about Brooks and Dunn. All right,
I don't either.
but like
That's funny.
if I pull a cork out of a bottle and I'm allowed to go woo, like guess what? Sign me up, even if it's once.
It's
You
fun.
know?
You know, like everybody right now, anybody like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive. Sounds disgusting, but I don't know. It could be good. Little Old Bay in our rye. I think all the whiskey companies right now, and really any company right now, just because the economy, I think, is kind of wonky for the more legacy businesses or whatever. I think that if they're not looking at hoarding cash, like making sure they have enough cash to weather a bigger storm, it's probably not in reality. And cash is king right now, period. And like when everybody, and I don't know not much about this, but I know like whenever the barrel craft spirits thing came out and everybody's like, oh, they're selling this, they're going down. And everybody kind of reads this stuff and then makes their own narrative of what could happen, is happening, or whatever. But when I seen that happening, because I kind of seen everything coming, I thought they were making the most responsible decision they could make at that point. So if I was with them, and I don't know a lot of the details. I just don't know a lot that happened. I just know I like read some Facebook stuff, and
Sure.
but if that is potentially a successful decision and move, trying to shed assets, whatnot, to keep a business, for us, like,
Well,
go ahead.
so I'm not going to pretend like I know a ton about economics. I mean, I took some classes or whatever. Who gives a shit? But producing whiskey isn't like you're not looking at it's not producing vodka. It's not like looking at the market today. It's looking at the market in the future. So you're saying like whatever choices and decisions you make today about production doesn't affect it affects what happens in the future based off of what you've produced, but the things you've changed today are going to be reflected this quarter and next year, like in the coming year. Like if you cut production, those numbers are going to be changed for like shareholders and like soon. So they'll be like, oh, they don't see the future. The shareholders see like what's happening currently.
Yeah.
So like if you want to show better numbers as far as like what you're taking in and putting out, if you're cutting a bunch of shit, but also still selling like what you've already done, I don't necessarily see that as a slowdown in the whiskey market as much as we want to change some numbers, if like temporarily, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that, like, what I worry about the most, what I focus on, I'm not MGP, but as far as like what we do, we don't make whiskey, but as far as business wise, we just, employees come first, and we have to look, and we always say, okay, what's trending, what could happen, and so we make decisions based on the families that work. Like that kind of decision we make based on the families that work at BK. And we never want to have to come in and be like, hey, we're going to shrink, so that's our motivation. Maybe their motivation's like, what?
Just the shit people say to me.
Order math. This will be great. Hey, you did good. Man, that must have pissed you off. Throwing
No, I
Glens.
put a glass on the edge. That's my bad.
So I just don't. I think that short term and long term, right? They probably said, "Hey, how do we not burn cash right now?" They just spent a lot of cash, probably. I don't know. Looks they spent like $200 million or something. But
Right.
maybe we're not. We're going to try not to burn cash. So it's a cash flow game, and then like a long term game.
That's also part of what they said in that press release. They said we're going to stop focusing on producing whiskey, and we're going to start focusing on selling, basically being part of Luxco and selling whiskey.
Yeah.
So it's like they spent the money to pick up Luxco brand,
Yeah.
and then if they are just focusing on producing, like selling that whiskey, that makes total sense. Like they've already spent a shitload of money.
Yes, they have cash
Yeah.
sitting there. If they quit spending it, it'll start amassing. And you also got to figure too, they're competing against themselves. They sell more shit to brokers than, I mean, like the barrel drop or the barrel price is really came down more on MGP than anything. It's like,
Yeah, you see
really
that way more
hard.
than I have any idea about. But I mean, it's based off of. I mean, I don't know Barrel King financials, but based off of seeing you've got this and this now,
don't
and
either.
you've never had that before. Obviously, the prices have had to go down.
No, that's not what's going on. No,
Shit.
no.
Damn it.
So
Oh,
like that 11-year whiskey, the 11-year 36%, we spent more on that than I've ever seen a barrel of that go for since I've been in the business.
and I'm just here just putting it in this and putting it in that.
No,
That's my bad.
we bake it in the cake. It's like the more we do, it's not really, you'd think that it would change a lot. The cost, like our bottle cost should change a lot. It just won't change a whole lot. We don't use a lot of 4-year, 5-year, 6-year. We just don't.
Sure.
Those would be like 4-year right now. I didn't want to say this in public, but I've seen some 4-year go for contract price. What that means is it went for the same price that it was barreled for. That just happened last week. And I shared that with somebody who really knows their shit, and they about fell over.
So like dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap. So literally seen some 4-year. There's like 3 years and 9 months.
Okay.
3,000 barrels sold for contract price, which is new fill. Now, contract price also now is starting to go down. And really, it's one of the things where, do you want to be the person who sold before everything fell apart for a really cheap price, or do you want to hold on to? It's just younger barrels are going to get super cheap. Like, and I don't see it turning around for a while. But I'm going to say 8 is where it starts. 8 was still expensive not long ago. Now it's starting. There's some like people fire selling that probably won't last. 9-year, a little cheaper. 10, 11, 12 on up. That's just not really that much cheaper. It's especially if you want to get the good ones. Like some people are sitting on certain lots that were on certain places in the rick house, or maybe they know they have a lot of leakage or whatever. And you can usually get that at a discount all the time. But the good stuff, double digit, it's not really. But MGP just kind of they're fighting against themselves. Really, like they put too much in the market. They can't beat the brokers' prices. So yeah,
it's weird. Like recently, not even that long ago, there was not enough. Like Bardstown Bourbon Company, the way that they expanded, there wasn't enough production to fulfill the demand. Like they couldn't. Like nobody could do it. And then we went to Michter's. Shit. When the hell was that? A couple months ago. Is when I went to Michter's, and then what the hell? Oh, it's Turkey Pick, yeah. But we went to Michter's first, and we went to their place, and they do a seasonal shutdown, where they shut down the entire distillery for a few months. And I was like, that's crazy, because
I want to work there.
the amount of money that you're giving up to shut down. I think they call it the winter shutdown. Like
Michter does that?
Yeah.
That's why they're
Michter's.
also like chill and shit.
But
That's crazy.
like the insane amount of money that you're like, if you said, hey, we'll produce your shit for a few months during our winter shut, like crazy. Like how would they do that? Where everyone else is 24/7, 365, like just pumping out as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
It was like eye opening to be like, some places really are okay with just doing what they do and not maximizing profits. Maybe it comes on the other end, like with what they sell their shit for, but not necessarily, because they don't really. The markup comes secondary, not retail. So it's just a strange thing. Where I was even the first time I visited Peerless, I said the same thing. Like they shut down for when I went there, they shut down at night, and I was like, but if you just kept it going, like if you just kept the people, like I feel like there's a missed opportunity for just producing whiskey that's demanded. Like people want it so much, like Newfield Contract Distilling, and there were a lot of places. Well, those two places that I'm mentioning that just shut down. I'm like, that's weird. Why would you do that? I don't know, but maybe MGP sees what's happening in the future, or maybe they're just seeing what's happening right now.
It's probably both, and they went all in on the package stuff, and then they put the Lux, I think a Luxco guy in charge of that portion. And
That makes
I think
sense.
it's probably smart that they drill down and and really figure out the fuck they got going on, and as far as these labels and how they fit together or whatever.
I think Michter's has to really stop their robots before they take over.
That's
Their
funny.
entire thing is robots.
Yeah,
That's weird. The robots were like the robots grabbed a box of 6-packs and put it on a stack of boxes, and I was like, lift with your legs, not your back. It's fun.
it's funny.
It was a robot joke.
It's weird, like you're putting it in the boxes and shit. That's so weird.
It was like it put the shit in the boxes, and then it picked up the box and put it on a stack. I'm like
That's neat.
bad
Smack
form,
me.
buddy.
Stop it.
It's weird.
No more. Yeah.
So weird. Strange.
So
RIP drone, yeah. Rick House A, if anybody wants to get a drone from Wild Turkey. It's up there.
the MGP hurting, and I was talking about the NDPs struggling. Like we're really soon probably going to see some fall really quick, but then I think we'll have more over the course of the year unless things turn around. But I just want to say, if people that are watching, if you have a whiskey or, I mean, honestly, I say smaller, the big guys will be fine, but of course buy the big guy stuff too. But if there's an NDP, like especially smaller, that you love, just really show them the love, because there's no guarantee that everybody's going to be here. It's no bullshit. It's
That makes
pretty.
sense.
A lot of people were just really thinking it was going to keep going. I get it. It's easy to do, but
So we've actually never even discussed this, I don't think, but on that point, people, the number one, what do you even call it? When people don't want to buy your product, it's like the number one, not a rejection, but like the pushback I get from Barrel King is the gold membership. They're like, so you're still gonna have to get a membership
yeah.
to get the whiskey, and I'm like, we have to know how much to make.
Yeah.
It's like we need to know who we're making this. Like, we don't want to make way too much or way too little.
Yeah.
It's not something that you have to. It's not like an Anytime Fitness membership where you're like, listen, I'm gonna every single month, unless I move 300 miles away from an Anytime Fitness location in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So you can cancel anytime, but it's just we need to know how much to produce for our
those
members.
are hard to cancel, actually. So
I know.
Yeah,
I used to work for them.
to write a letter or whatever. But so for me personally, it's if we didn't have a membership model, we would not be near the quality wouldn't be as good. Maybe we know what we're working with every month. We don't have to like be sick about it. When a gold member goes, and even though we don't have there's no commitment. Like it literally takes a few minutes to sign up, and it's actually quicker to cancel. When you sign up, you got to type your stuff in. We get a hold of you. We usually do a good job of onboarding and whatnot, and then I say usually like 0.0000001%, maybe we have a mistake or something, but yeah, like 999 out of 1,000, we nail it, and you get you in, and then you pick a bottle, and that was an investment. That really was, a few minutes to do that. It does take time. It's a pain in the ass. I get it, but I mean, it's an investment. I think it's like I feel like we put out some of the best juice in the United States. Like I honestly feel like it's a value for what we do. Like, and when somebody does say, "Hey, I signed up," it says to me that it's not just about the juice. Like we can argue about, but it's about it's more than that. They actually took the time to sign up. That's just this means so much more, and I think that we're able to know how much to make. We're able to know how much we have to invest in the future of our barrels, in the future of our program, and we're not nervous about putting food on the table next month because we know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, and of course we do, if we do make too much, and this year we did, we're going to have to somehow, this last quarter, we're going to have to unload it somehow. Like, and I really do want to get a little bit of a cash reserve as well, so that I know that all of that the BK team are all safe moving forward, and we are good. But
so if anybody cancels, Barrel King just sends me to your house, and I mouth breathe at your doorstep for about 15 minutes, begging for your business back. And when you say no, I cry. And it's a whole thing. It takes you no time, but it costs me lots of tears.
And for the cancel, it's easy. So if he wants to cancel it, it's just like a text or a email, a messenger message, and
right.
if for some reason we don't get to it, and we sent you the bottle and you meant to cancel it, we'll just refund. Like, it's not a big deal.
So that's the major point that I see of like people just saying, I have to sign up, but I mean, it's not really. There's no obligation. It's like you're
a few minutes, and you do have to be interactive with it. I mean, it's an interactive experience. It's not meant like it's just not supposed to be the normal thing, And we want to be connected and talk to people, and I don't know. It's just I am not super excited about sending off bottles into distribution nationally. That's the other option, I think it is. Maybe not. The junkies are doing Bourbon Outfitters, but they also do a lot of, So I don't know. It works for us. It just does. And I do. Some people, it's just not for them. I have one of my best friends just hates memberships. I do.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I'm always joining them and canceling them. But I guess the difference is that you talk to a real person at least once a month. You can talk to them once a week if you want, whatever. Probably Sydney or me or Rachel. And it's just not hard you just say, hey, cancel. And it's super simple. So I don't know.
But I like what you did with the Sib Pluses I had 2 barrels. The junkies had 2. Well, they had 1 Sib Plus and 1 11 year. And then Jason, Mash and Drum, had a barrel, right?
Yep.
And then did Chad and Sarah have a barrel?
They did.
So 4 channels just to get the stuff out there. Oh, and Elvis had one as well, Bourbon Outfitter. Yeah. So that was cool because it let people try, and I'm hoping that if people really enjoy those, and I've heard nothing but positive feedback, that they just kind of give you guys, like, Barrel King a chance. Like, hey, sign up, and then literally try stuff until you think it's not worth it. And from what I understand, from what I've heard, I don't have a single person who's ever messaged me saying, I'm unhappy I did this. And that's the bare bones truth. No one's ever messaged me and said, dude, tried this, not a fan. Everything has been positive. Just super strange. But you probably have seen other, but not me.
No, I've never. I had one person like last week. They were like,
One person. That's
no,
weird.
no. I mean, I've only complaints probably this year, maybe 6 or something. I don't know,
Okay.
5, half a dozen. Not, but it wasn't never about the juice quality. It was about shipping, or like a dude that lived in Hawaii. It was like, now he goes and trashes us like on other on some of these things, and it's fun because he like makes us the #1 conversation every time. I'm like, fuck yeah, come back, do it again tomorrow. But as everybody knows, it's not real. He lives in Hawaii. It's just,
Right.
I mean, it is a favor. But anyways, now we got that turned on, and now it's quick. So, but anyhow, like one guy was like, I should be wowed by every bottle. Is like the last 6 bottles I got, and these are. Well, he didn't even say that. He said I should be wowed by every bottle, and then I was able to pull up those bottles, and like he bought 2 83s. No, yeah, 83. That last cigar blend, like that was fucking good.
The Magnificent Seven, was that 83?
Yeah, if you're not wowed by that, you're like, holy shit. And then I mean, he bought some bangers. It was like really good. And so it's like, I don't know. And honestly, you're not going to hit everybody every time. It's
It can't be.
Yeah,
it can't be 100% because some people just like different things.
Yes, it's impossible. If it is, it's gonna be boring, right?
Right, and things are different because I've heard the one thing I've heard is like, oh, like it's from the same place, so it tastes the same. It could be further from the truth. They taste so different, all the batches. But I don't know.
There's still a profile, right? There's like we have this like thing. I'm not
definitely
sure.
a profile.
But it's all so different, dude.
Empire says, Whiskey King 2, 3, and Kingslayer introduced me to BK. Immediately, this will be my 15th month as a member. Best decision ever. That's super cool. Whiskey King 2 was Willet finished. Whiskey King 3 was the same blend, but in a stag barrel. And Kingslayer was just subpar compared to the other 2. But that's... But that makes me so happy to see. I love reading shit like that. Thank you, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
And Ophidian, I totally get this, Ophidian, because I'm the same way when it comes to recurring payments. I can't, for some reason, there's a part of me that can't say, like when it comes to my car payment, they're like, dude, just sign up for like monthly. I'm like, no, I'll just make the payment myself. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's something that in my head, I'm like, let me just do that myself.
So I will do that.
I don't know why.
I'm going to do that just for him. I'm going to see if it goes.
What's that?
I'm going to make a whole yearly just for him. Let's see if it works. He wants to
So
prepay
you pay by a certain date? Or in advance for a year. Shit, yeah, that's a advance for a year. I mean, that's a whole nother animal. That's a friggin'
Christmas presents.
Yeah. When I say that's a whole nother animal, every time I say that, I try to think of a different animal that's never been thought of before. And it's really getting me hard. But I'll think of one. So these light whiskey barrels, I'm going to say, are all pretty much in the same category as being workable, very good. Some of them are a step above.
Yeah.
I think one of them we tasted was a step below. But when it comes to being blended and then rebarreled, I think that these are going to be monsters, absolute monsters.
I do too. Will you try number 7 and see if you get any you get a little bit of like skunk?
I heard. No, I just heard the beep. I love you. It's my wife. She's so pretty. Now you say that, yes, but that's so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but like
some stuff sometimes. It's like
why would you say that?
You get it?
A little.
So,
but like,
that's a flaw that people love.
Yeah, I mean, some people enjoy a skunky smell. You know.
It's like terpenes, right? Like them terps.
It's like, I don't know. So we tasted this Westward Milestone, which I really enjoy. It's a American single malt. And it's super apple pie, like really, really apple pie. And then Cameron, friggin' Cameron, son of a bitch, this guy, was like, weirdly, I get a marijuana note off of some of these Westward products. And then a couple people in the chat were like, I get the same thing. I never picked up on it. And then I smelled it again. And it was so apparent. I'm like, holy shit, I never would have got there until someone said it. But now it's what I smell when I smell it.
So Westward, that's if I'm wrong, right, it's Miles. That's Miles Monroe. He's the distiller. I think he's like the head guy.
Miles Monroe, you say? Cheers, Miles Monroe. You sound like a brilliant chap.
He's like a really cool version of Russell Brand, kind of like he showed up, just flew in from like Auckland, and was like, I haven't slept.
Number
for
7 tastes legitimately fantastic, though. Russell Brand.
Yeah, he's like Russell Brand.
I love Russell Brand until he stopped doing movies.
Yeah, he went a little fucking crazy.
Well, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't hate him for anything other than I clicked on a video of his, and I've tried a few times, and he's like the guy who's like talks into his microphone like this, does he?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're too loud. Stop it.
He's
somebody.
You can tell by the way he talks, he's incredibly intelligent, but I don't want to take like life advice from Russell Brand.
Super intelligent. Very, very well thought out.
Yeah.
But a bit spacey, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wild. Man.
Damn it, Jason. Every time.
So
I don't even know who said that the first time, but now it's a running joke. Every time I talk to Chris, someone says show life. Oh, boy. The business model is a tough sell. I buy because Matt is the best. That's really silly. See, I didn't read this before. I'm reading it, but period. It is very hard to make the monthly commitment with no clue of what you are buying.
you do have a clue.
I get that, but like eventually, after a few, you kind of understand what you're getting. I look at it as, honestly, like, if you enjoy the profile, you enjoy the product, it's almost like you're just jumping into the next batch of whatever your favorite whiskey. Like, if you love Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you don't know what the next batch is going to taste like exactly, but if you love it, then you're probably going to love it. It's like a stag batch or like a Larceny Barrel Proof batch. Like, they're not exactly the same. And some of them may be vastly different. And I think that if you see something that you possibly don't like, just skip the month. If it's like blackberry finished, it's not for me. I'll wait till next month. I think you can just skip it, right?
Yeah. Say, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
But I appreciate you, Keith, for like fucking giving it a shot. Like, that's all we ask for. Like, give it a shot and see if you love it. And if you love it, hell yeah. If you don't, no big deal. You know?
I feel like we work really hard at trying to like
Damn it.
the convey
Chubby and cute and whiskey? What does that mean? Sorry, I just read some things sometimes and it says chubby and cute and whiskey and then I can't.
I don't understand.
I interrupt. I don't know either, but it just says I should have read his name before I even read the comment. Beefy McMahon Stick. Why did I read his comment? Oh.
Funny.
Beefy McMahon Stick says chubby and cute and whiskey triple threat, does he? Nice. It's bad.
Is it the same guy said that?
I don't know. Oh boy. Oh, is there any cigar blends left? Is there any of the Magnificent Seven left?
Last time I looked, there might have been like 2. They're almost gone.
What's it?
I think there might have been
maybe not.
Yeah, it's close. It's almost over. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You might want to grab one of those fast, and if you reach out to Sydney, she can. That might not be in the store, but she might be able to help you out. I don't know.
Well, Keith, what are you talking about? Now I feel bad. Don't a $50 feel bad, Keith? What did you say? No, you said you buy it because Matt is the best. That makes me feel very good.
It's true. It's fine. Yeah.
And
I
no,
appreciate input.
so I'm not trying to make you feel bad whatsoever. All I'm saying is the way I look at it is like I think I know what what they make I enjoy, and I can kind of like base my expectations off of what I've tried before. And if I like it, I think I'm going to like the next one. But if they come up with it, honestly, dude, if Jarrod was like Porter, we got an Amberana tank that is like, oh, it's gonna blow your fucking mind. Skip. Like that's not for me. It's never like a full blown Amberana tank, or like if he said he had a extremely small barreled whiskey that was like like some things are not for me, and I know those things immediately. And those are the months where I'd just be like, skip. Like, I'll wait till next month, see what they got. But don't ever feel bad, Keith. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I love you. Thank you for your $50.
Yeah. What does he get for 100? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I don't really think you feel bad, Keith. Gee, God, how bad? My gosh. Oh, you feel terrible, huh? $50. Gosh. What are you trying to buy me? Quarter tank of gas? Son of a bitch. It's a joke. I love you, Keith. You're here every single week, and I appreciate you so much. Jarrod, go buy an amaretto conditioned barrel for Matt. He's gonna make one.
I'm gonna make one.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, question. We're gonna call it quits. We've been alive for 3 hours, which is super long. I didn't expect to go this long. But did Bunch ever put bourbon in a apple brandy cask or no?
I think he did. Yeah.
Nice. I
I
have to
think he
text him
did.
about it.
Because you talked to him about that. So I think he did.
Yeah, he said he was gonna do it, but I
Yeah.
never asked him if he actually did it. I'll have to ask. Because there was a Bardstown Bourbon Company release that was an older, because I tried to replicate it with a younger one, but it didn't work. It worked all right, but it didn't work as expected. But an older MGP bourbon finished in a apple brandy cask, one of my favorite Bardstown Bourbon Company collaborations ever. It was so good. Like,
I love apple brandy.
remarkable.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
So that's why I was like, hey, do we still have some of those Sip Pluses that are like just sitting there?
yeah.
Do we have an apple brandy barrel that's available? Make them connect and let's see what happens, because it could be friggin' magic. So good. All right, Jarrod, I'm going to call it an evening.
Okay.
I feel bad that he feels bad. Lol. Member for 35 months. 30, almost 3 years, dude. Thank you so much
What's
for
your
being...
first name? What's his first name?
No, he's been a member of my channel.
Oh, I
like
was
an
gonna say,
ADHD Whiskey
shit.
member.
Right on.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Wait, you don't like Amberana finished? No, it's the very first time I ever tried something Amberana finished. Just like every single person that's ever tried something Amberana finished, you go, holy shit, that's crazy. That tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then you have it a second time and a third time, and then you're over it. To me, I'm over it. It's a lot. Oh boy, Chris says, I love Matt, but I buy and make the commitment because Jarrod and Rachel are two of the best people I know, period. End of story. BK team is gold. I totally agree, Chris. Ew, minty cherry? I don't know, barrel lover.
Barrel lover.
Oh man, hey,
He's right about most of this shit, just so you know.
no, I totally get it, but hey, let me take a California wine and shove it up an ass.
What?
No, he likes wine, so it's just I don't know how to say anything bad in wine terms, so I just shoved it in an ass. You know, that's all I got, literally.
Yeah.
But a minty, maybe. I don't know. Hey, you know what? You never know till you try. But
See, he's
Prob-
thinking like cocktails. You know, like you have like I think what he's thinking is balance, and he's thinking
well,
a sprig
one of
of
the
mint.
most famous cocktails, including amaretto, is the Godfather, which is a peated Scotch with amaretto, which balances the smoky and the sweet. You know, the cherry sweetness from the amaretto, and then the smokiness from the Scotch, which like feeds off each other. It balances each other really well. Oh, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of smoke. But I want to try that with American whiskey somehow. I'm not sure if a minty rye is the way to go. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'll try it again. I've tried amaretto and rye before and haven't loved it. But maybe we need to set some peat on fire and smoke a barrel inside or outside.
Outside. We can do that.
It's a conditioned barrel.
We can just put some scotch in the barrel, I think. TTB said so.
The old Overholt 11. I don't think I've tried that one yet, Beefy. McMahon stick. I don't think so. I tried an old Overholt last week, but I don't think it was the 11. I just think it was the cask strength. Did you ever announce the names of the two blending tanks?
We haven't announced real soon though. Like really fucking soon. We got the magnets in, and we're gonna put it out.
Nice.
Like
Hell
super
yeah.
soon. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm new around here. Only been into bourbon for a month. And for real, bought what the hell? Only been into bourbon for a month, and for real, bought 120 bottles and spent like $8,500 this month. It's really crazy. I got into this that hard. That is diving in so hard. Yeah.
It's hard.
I remember when I was a month into whiskey, I felt, it's weird. I remember having like a few bottles, and then I had my vasectomy, and I bought a bottle of $30 Larceny small batch, and I was like, that's too much. Why am I spending this much money on whiskey? How times have changed, but 120 bottles in the first month is legitimate, that is, wow. Congratulations.
You might as well
Thank you
just
for supporting. Hey, send that message to MGP and they'll be like, everybody back to work. All right, I'm out of here. Jarrod, thank you so much for joining me tonight and like tasting through these and talking. We honestly had zero conversation about what we were going to talk about tonight. It was just literally conversation just built off of conversation. No plans. The only thing that we talked about that was planned were just things I put on the thumbnail that we didn't even discuss beforehand. So this was just behind the scenes talk and super cool. If you didn't hear, honestly, if you're here now and you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, go back to the beginning of the stream, probably about 15 or 20 minutes in. I talk with Rachel. Jarrod's not even on the screen. It is like a moment of, he's just like, oh, Jarrod's gone, whatever. If you but Rachel's there, and Rachel is talking about a project that they're working on this winter. That is an amazing project that is going to change some people's lives. So go back to the beginning of the stream, watch that, and be in awe over how awesome and amazing Barrel King is, and how giving they are, how thoughtful they are, and honestly, like the shit that they talk about behind the scenes amongst themselves is about giving back and about helping others, and that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I'm so proud and happy to be a part of the Barrel King team. There are some people out there who don't enjoy my videos about Barrel King. I don't give a shit at all. Like, I am so happy and honored and proud to be a part of their team that they do life-changing shit, and they're going to do it again. So Jarrod, Rachel, thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to call it a night. And we'll see you next Friday. Actually, you know what? I might do a birthday stream Monday if I'm feeling up to it. Who knows? I'll be 40 years old. I might just feel like sleeping and being old and stiff.
That's
But I might. Jarrod, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
I love you. I'm calling it quits. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on ending the stream. But not before you say something super important.